who would know how to do it.
Nope. I don't even know what it is. So.
Yeah. Oh, so instead of having a VDU, what you've basically got, it's like a computer printer with a keyboard. Mm. So when you were typing in BASIC, it was then. When you type in your line, 10 print blah blah blah. Yep. It all came up clunk 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 as you were typing it out. Nice. And if you actually had any mistakes when you tried to run the program, you had to go to the line, and you couldn't just run a cursor along and then click to change something. Most of the time you had syntax errors because you'd spelt the command wrong, or punctuation you'd missed out. It wasn't very often actually a genuine error in programming. It was people who couldn't type. Yeah. As you went along the line, you basically were going like clunk 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 clunk, and as you use the equivalent of the direction keys, it typed out the line. Then you had to press delete, and what it would then do is take the last letter that had come up, and it would then go / that letter /, which would indicate that letter had been deleted. Yeah. So most of the time that was too much fucking effort, so we just typed out the entire line again. Naturally. But yep, those were the days.
Yeah, I never had that. I'm too much of a baby.
My first home computer, which I got shortly after that, was a ZX Spectrum.
I can't remember what the first one we had was. I think it actually had a processor that had. We got quite a high-end computer, and this was 90s, I think. Yeah, tail end of the 90s, and it was like 600 megahertz. And my dad, because he was doing a computer course at the time, he got hold of megabyte, and it was like really hot kind of stuff. He was like, "Oh, this graphics card, it's got a whole megabyte."
Yeah.
And we look at that, and it's like, "Oh, okay."
I remember in the 90s, I bought one of the last 486s before the Pentiums came out. 486 DX266 megahertz. Had 16 meg of RAM, which back then was a lot.
Yes.
I had a graphics card. I think it was a 2 meg graphics card, which was one of the biggest ones you could get. Oh. And so, doing stuff on that, I was thinking, wow. At the time, it was incredibly impressive.
Oh, yeah.
And it was about 2,600 quid, including the monitor, which was a big 26-inch CRT.
I remember CRTs. See, I'm not too young to not remember the glorious CRT monitors.
Yeah, I was sat in front of that wearing sunglasses for hours.
Sunglasses?
Yeah, you used to get raster burn off them.
Really?
Yeah, your eyes would. They used to warn you not to use it for more than about 3 hours straight.
Jeez.
Because you started to get that eye strain. So you would darken the room, put the sunglasses on, then turn up the brightness, so you could actually see it properly.
Yeah.
And with that, you could go for 10 or 12 hours without getting eye strain.
Yeah, dancing with death there. God, 667 Eurobucks is not a lot to do anything.
No.
I've got my living stuff, so I won't starve to death or have to sleep on the street, and some basic clothes, and I'm down to like 200.
Yeah, I hope you've got some armor.
It's part of my cyberware, so yes.
Yeah, okay.
Because that 2,500 was very nice. Without that, like, oh.
I was like, if I'm going to somewhere which I expect will be more dangerous than usual, I've got a set of Metal Gear.
God, you're all going to be really heavily armored compared to me. Jeez.
Yeah. Well, so right when we were doing the character sheets, I said to the GM, any restrictions on armor? And he said no. So, all right, Metal Gears only costs about 600.
Yeah, they're really cheap. I mean, only cost 600. That's literally like all of my money. But,
yeah. But for what it is,
and just not have anything. Now, for me, I got the SP6 Skinweave.
Yeah.
And I'll probably use that with like some cheap armor as well. So basically, it just means I've got armor everywhere, which is good. And then I'll layer it with like a Kevlar t-shirt and some armored jeans or something.
Yeah, I am trying to get matching suits.
Matching suits?
Yeah, which are SP15 armor for the party. I managed to get these things myself for free. Now, depending on your body type, depending on your body stat, I have 4 sets of Armani tactical bodysuits, which are armor. I didn't actually. Oh, they're SP12. And they are size 5, 2 size 5s, 1 size 8, and 1 size 10. That size is your body type.
Ooh.
Your body stat.
I mean, well, so my body stat is 8, but because of muscle and bone lace, it's actually 10. So it wouldn't look 10. Like, I wouldn't be 10 because muscle and bone lace is basically, it's like all internal. It's machine's son. But yeah, so 8. 8 is me. That is okay.
So you could actually borrow one of those because either the 8 or the 10 will fit you.
All right, I am. Can you guys hear me okay? Actually?
Yep.
Okay. And your video should be coming up, actually. I need to get my video on for the call. I will see if I can fix that real quick. And... oh, I think... one moment. Reset this, reset that, do something else. We are live, by the way, though, because I just threw it out there. Well, you're not live yet because you're not on the overlay yet, but you're going to be in a moment.
Yep.
I can quickly do whatever I want.
That's right. You have a moment, or 5. We'll see. Yeah. Let's see if that... no, I'm still... Give me a moment, gentlemen. I just got too much other stuff running.
So whenever I find something I want, I need to go to number 3. I've got like pretty much all of them. But I should prefer, you know, actual books. Nice.
Actual
so do I.
Physical books? Yeah, I got a couple of those. I got a few of those as well. Just a couple.
I've got basically all the ones that they sell in the Talsorian store.
Nice.
Oh wait, this is because it's credit 3. I need credit. Put in one book.
Well,
I was at page 35 and I was like, this isn't what I was looking for. Wait, I'm on. Oh, it's 6. Normally, I'm being really stupid.
well, apparently, Zoom yet again isn't liking OBS. So, if you guys would like to see my face, my you know, bright and sunny and cyberpunk face and all that. Anyway, you'll have to watch the stream. I'm sorry, guys, it's not coming up. So, it's just of all the problems to have, I guess. Okay, so that is going, like I said, we are live. And at the moment it is... Oh, do you have a handle yet, new person? A character name yet? What are we calling you?
Apart from that.
What's that? Oh, okay, everything else?
I'm really good at everything apart from that. The one bit where I'm like, oh, this is really difficult.
Yeah, you've now gone really quiet.
Ooh, nice.
All right. Oh,
What about
who has? Oh, here. Okay. Good.
Impulse.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know what my audio is doing. It's got a mind of its own.
Yep.
That happens sometimes. It just does. Turn mine up a little bit. Everybody can hear me better. Yeah, you guys turned up
I could
all
hear
the
you
way.
fine.
Oh, I meant for the stream.
Yep.
Over on the OBS side. And okay, so that's all that. I had some delay. For some reason, OBS is no longer liking Firefox to put the map on the screen, on the stream. Don't know what's changed, but it just suddenly decided that that's a thing anymore.
Yeah.
All right, so Mr. Impulse, I'm gonna change. You did go with the Prowler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we will change this to Prowler, Prowler. All right. And you don't have a name yet, huh?
No, I'm literally sitting here thinking. I'm like.
Okay. Can everyone see the map okay? Is that what's currently on your guys' screen?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Do one or two more things here, and I guess Marcellus said he would be late. I think, yeah, Marcellus said he's actually doing things that he's not supposed to talk to us or anyone about that have to do with Cyberpunk.
Oh.
Yes. He can't discuss them. So, yeah. He's just that cool. What was I going to ask? Since I am updating the overlay real quick, does anyone have a social link or something they want me to put on the overlay?
What is the overlay?
Oh, have you? Okay, if you want to go to PunkGenerator on YouTube, or PunkGenerator on Facebook, or PunkGenerator on Twitch, whatever you prefer.
I'm on Twitch.
Oh, you're on Twitch. Okay, do you see the stream?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, so you see, the overlay is the thing that has our names on it and separates us into boxes and all that fun stuff.
Oh, cool.
That's the overlay.
I suppose.
And it's not a big deal. You know, it's just if you have something.
Sorry.
If you have YouTube, if you have something you want to put on there or whatever, that's great. If you don't, that's cool too.
Just getting
Well, my computer just crapped out again.
Oh no. Okay.
It's this problem where if I actually look on the event log, it says me kernel power error, etc. It happens when I do stuff with the internet.
Ooh,
You know, it happened just then when I clicked to change the text channel on Discord. Well, it'll happen if I open another window in Chrome or what have you. It doesn't happen every time, but some of the time. And you know, I've contacted people, you know, Microsoft Help and other places, and everyone says the problem is that I've got my computer set so that if it shuts down, it doesn't auto restart. So I've taken that off, and it still does the same thing. And
they said it's a problem that it auto restarts.
Yeah, so I've turned auto restart off.
Okay.
So now I have to manually restart the computer. It doesn't make a difference.
I would have been surprised if that made any difference.
Yeah, but
I mean, but you know, you got to try. It doesn't hurt to try it, but
yeah,
you know,
do that so that you can then say to them, "I've done that, and there's no change."
Right. Exactly. Exactly. All right. All right. So I'm going to put that in place, and we'll see if he comes up. If you come up with something, I will change it in a minute.
yeah, I'm just putting something in Discord. Just
oh, you are? Okay. I'll flip over to Discord. So yeah, the just the quick explanation for you, the map while you're typing that in. The top part of Night City is pretty much similar or the same as it is out of the core book. Made it the Highway 18 has changed a bit, and everything south of Highway 18 is considered Charter Hill South. And about 2/3 down, there's a black line in the gray area. That is a wall and a supposedly a demilitarized zone type of thing. But anyway, that's between the low end moderate zone, you might say, and the actual full on combat zone. But there's a lot of other stuff going on. See what you got. See what you got.
That's just a question for you.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to say.
No problem. No problem. Yeah, no problem. I don't care. Don't bother me, then. Yeah, whatever. That part, man, it's whatever works for you.
Because I've seen people be weird about it on Roll20 before. And
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's you know.
In that case, I'm good and done. Just gonna get that, and then drag it over.
And let's. Oh, I gotta get you. That's what else I haven't done yet. Man, I don't know. I gotta start preparing like an hour ahead of game time or something, because it just seems like there's always something. There's always an issue. Actually, I've got to tell
everything. I've got a handle. It's Mistress Mirage.
All right, just throw it on your. You know how to edit your sheet and throw it in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Picture as well.
Sorry, you're breaking up some. What was that?
I've done that picture as well.
Okay.
Everything is
in there. Okay, cool. Let's see. Where is my? There.
Oh, I need to get trying to get anything.
All right. So, yep, that's you. It's your video, whatever.
Oh, it's me. It's big.
I am fixing it.
also really weird to see because of the time lag. Oh, it's weird. Oh, I'm speaking.
It does take. It takes some getting used to. Yes. And in general, you probably just don't watch the stream. That's
Yeah.
It is easier if you don't, unless you just need to look at something or check something or that stuff. You're going to be in that spot. Obviously, I haven't fixed the name and stuff, but you're going to be there in a minute. All right, so I got your name there. Let me go put your name in. I'll take out where I put generic handle on the overlay.
I'm no longer generic handle.
You're no longer generic handle.
Generic handle prowler.
Okay, there's that. And let's leave it.
110.
Okay, so you're all good on your new character, right? You got everything in. You double check that you spent the correct number of points and all that fun crap.
I haven't done life path because your handout said not to.
Right. Okay, we'll do that here in a moment. Okay.
And I haven't quite finished my inventory, but I've got the important stuff like clothes and not living on the street.
Okay. What did you do as far as the not living on the street part? What did you do?
Combat zone apartment, studio, like one room basically.
Okay. And did you? Oh, you did the 2,500. You didn't do the.
Not the 10K. No.
For some reason, I was thinking you were going to do the 10K. Okay.
Ooh.
Had it in my head. That's what you were going to do. Okay, that is okay. So we get this saved and up on the screen here in just a second, and then we'll start going over that. Oh, and a few things, couple things. I don't remember if they're in the handout per se. It's very much, if it's not on your sheet, if you didn't buy it, you don't have it.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you don't, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm very particular and meticulous when it comes to character sheets. You'll find that as we play the campaign, and I actually have more than 667 Eurobucks to spend.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just, the one example I use is if you don't buy a flashlight, then you don't have a flashlight. Yes, they're available for, the disposable ones for like €1 a piece or something, but it doesn't matter. If you didn't get one, you don't have it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find there it is. Find the right JPEG. Let's see if it just comes up and works. Well, that didn't work.
Well, I'm not surprised.
Of course not. Let's try that. A little better. Mostly that's up. That's mostly working, except for... Let's see. That's got to go under there. That's got to go under there. And whatever that is got to go away. There. Okay. So why is that?
Also, for the social bit, you put impulse101.co.uk.
Okay. If you'll throw that in Discord, and I'll add it here in a minute.
Literally just set it up like a couple of days ago, but I'm getting back into.
Why is?
I did a journalism masters and diploma thing. Didn't pursue it as a career, but I'm getting back into sort of just doing my own stuff in my spare time.
Okay, well, something about my overlay is not working right. Give me a moment. Because I don't know why. Oh, I know what it is. That probably needs to be down there. Maybe? Not that one. Oh, come on. Where is...
Alt A. Wouldn't work. It's nice that Zoom has a keyboard shortcut to mute your microphone, and then it just doesn't work.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's great. That's
So
just
I pressed
great.
Alt and A, and it just nothing was happening. Also, I apologize for breaking the stream.
Well, that's okay. I
My
seem to be doing a pretty good
existence.
job of that at the moment myself, because I've completely blown up this overlay and the way it's set up. So I am attempting to fix it yet.
I'm just trying to figure out what I can buy. Spoiler alert, not much.
Oh, I know what I did. I know why it's not working. Okay.
What did you do?
What'd you do, Ray?
Yeah.
No, there's this little problem or a difference between a JPEG and a PNG called transparent background. And when you save something as a as a JPEG, it no longer has a transparent layer.
Oh, okay.
So those holes in the overlay where, you know, they're supposed to be important stuff aren't holes. They're white. So, yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
That would be why
I
I'm
just
refusing to do what I wanted to.
flat out can't afford a gun.
Oh, that could be a problem. Could be interesting. No, not necessarily a problem. Interesting role play opportunity. That's what that is.
Like, that's a lie. I could get a gun, but I might pick up something really disposable. Yeah, I'll pick up something really disposable and hope it doesn't jam. That sounds about right.
Well, okay. Oh, man. Every time I try to change something major like this at the last second, there's got to be a problem. It can't just work.
Okay.
That would just be too easy. Oh, there it is. I don't know why it took so long to appear, but it's there now. All right. Okay, well, I'm there. And you're there. And everybody else has their icons, their tokens, their whatever we want to call them this time. And the chat window is not quite right fitting on the screen, but I don't care. It's there, it can be seen, and it's just going to have to be good enough.
Yeah, the Solo of Fortune book will save my life with this really cheap pistol that, yeah, kind of sucks.
First one or second one?
First.
Solo of Fortune. Okay. We will want to double check which weapon it is. We'll, do you have black hands by chance?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. If it's in black hands, we're good. As long as it's the same specs and all that, then we're good.
Yeah.
Just some of the stuff in the original, the first Solo Fortune book was for 2013, and doesn't quite work right without modifying it anyway.
Yeah, I flat out don't have Solo Fortune 1.
Okay. You don't have the second one or the first one?
Oh, I've got the
Like,
second. Not the
You've
first.
got the second. Okay, that's cool. I thought you were saying that you had the first one. So you got that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. It's funny. I just happened to be on top. I looked. All right. So, oh yeah, he wanted me to put your social thing. You know, someday we'll actually get to play. I'm sorry, Austin.
Yep.
And it's just, well, last week I had fun. Last week we just gotten started, and suddenly I was getting a tornado warning, a tornado watch, tornado warning, and then just a minute later it's a tornado take cover right now warning. I was like, holy crap! So yeah, we ended the stream immediately, and there was a tornado that was so wrapped in rain that they couldn't see it on the radars and such. And we knew about it when it was touching down about 2 miles from here. So, which is way, way too close. So that was fun. Oh, there you are. You put it right there. Okay. And what is that? That you sent me? Is that
website where I write?
Oh, that's your website. Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. Okay. Gotcha.
How 2077 was delayed until September.
Yes. I got a video about that. As does, I'm sure a million people have video about that, but
it's one of those things that is quite widespread.
Okay, save that. Export it again. Hopefully it won't break anything this time now that I use the right blasted file format. That would be a help. And yes, I want to replace it. Now the question is, oh, I need one more monitor. Just one more. This isn't enough. Oh, man. All right. What was that? Okay, I'm locked up.
So I'm not going to get a...
There we go. You're not going to get what?
I was going to say, I'm not going to get like a really terrible pistol. Instead, I'm just going to get one that won't hurt anyone. Those are cheap.
Hey, do what you gotta do. You can always see if there's a loan shark around, maybe, or something. You know, we could right after as get into gameplay and see if somebody alone. Well, I say a loan shark. Hell, we might have a media that moonlights as a moon shark. If he wants to, that's completely up to him. I'm not pushing anything.
I know better than to do that.
All right, it worked. It updated. Your link is in there.
I'll keep this tiny pistol and hope that people want to get close to me, and then I'll lay down the smackdown.
All right, so okay, so we've done all that. That stuff's actually good. It's only been 40 freaking minutes. Since we were theoretically supposed to start. Let's see. So Marcellus is going to be late, but we haven't. But Vex. I thought Vex was supposed to be here though. Was it? It said something.
Yeah, he wanted to start early, so
right.
I would have thought he was going to be here.
I know. I saw that message and I was like, "Oh no! I've just finished work. I'll get back as soon as I can." Yeah.
Okay, so I'll send him on that and see if he comes back. I think he is the person that keeps screwing up time zones, messing up which time zone is which and where.
Okay.
I think. Somebody keeps having trouble with that, and I think it was him.
Yeah, I did
ahead.
it once, but
Yo.
not.
No, hell, man. Stringer, you are more reliable than I am as far as showing up for games. So, which I don't like. It bugs me every time if something comes up. But you know, as much as I'm trying to get to do something out of here, you know, shop.PunkGenerator.com for some cool T-shirts and downloadables and other cool stuff. I still have to work, so.
Yeah.
And it's my company, so it's difficult sometimes to just blow things off.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you didn't do that. You have a compartment in the combat zone. So, what you did, what happened to you? So your apartment, the combat zone. Do you, oh, actually, shoot, no, I'm sorry, man. We got to do your life path first. That is an important item. Let's go do your life path. Sorry about that. I almost forgot.
Yeah, you
we
might
should
get
do that.
You could get cash in the life path.
That's right. You might.
You might.
I will say this: if you get at this point, if you do get more money in your life path, and you're from your life path, and you want to change your weapon or something, that's fine. I am. Let me go get logged in here, and then we'll pull up the life path generator, and we can check that out for a moment.
I'm just hoping I don't have awful luck. There's some stuff in like it's not just the bad. I'm not like, oh, I don't want anything bad. Like a lot of the bad stuff, I'm like, it's all right. Bad stuff though.
Yeah.
Well, depending on what it is, you know, I don't. It's not necessarily you are stuck with this and you absolutely, if it does not matter if it doesn't fit your character idea and stuff at all. It just doesn't matter. You still have to play it. I don't do that, you know. On the other hand, I'm not going to let, you know, you can't have every year be a 1,000-year-old windfall.
Look,
that doesn't work either.
Every year. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
that doesn't work either, you know. Yeah, so this should be up here in a second. We'll flip over to that and build you a life path. Come on. That's what I need right there. Close the right page. And you'll come to find out. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, go on. No, you
go on. My internet sucks. So there are times, especially when I'm trying to stream like this, that yeah. If I have 5 or 6 down or end up, I'm doing pretty good.
Okay.
So, yeah. Anyway, go ahead. What were you saying?
I forgot what I was going to say. Oh no, yeah. I was also thinking like, so where should my character be from? What kind of accent am I going to have to do? I'm still undecided on that. How brave do I feel like, you know, pretending I can do different accents?
Well, I'm throwing this on top of us here for a minute so we can do your life path. Well, no problem. Try it out, and if nothing, do you get? I haven't looked at your sheet yet. Did you get a chipware socket by chance?
Nope.
Okay, I was gonna say you could have a messed up behavior chip that just randomly changes your accent and stuff. That's always fun.
I was tempted, but no, I went the route I went instead.
Okay, so we're going to make sure this is all set to... Oh, in the dress and personal style stuff, you can absolutely just pick whatever you want. I'm not, you know, if you want, if sometimes it's interesting to get ideas from what's randomly picked, but beyond that, I don't care, you know. Yeah, I'm completely fine with whatever you want to do there. Get that set for random. Make sure everything is random. An age.
Remember, I have stream delay.
Right. So... I understand. I got you.
You'll say,
well, what else?
This is your life path, and I'll be sitting there like, yeah, waiting.
And when What I'll do, I'll actually copy and paste it over to Discord or something for you, so you can, or
thanks.
straight to your sheet, or something. We'll figure that out in a minute. All right,
Just
so here's your life path.
Oh,
You're 21. Let's see. Oh, the years that say nothing happened this year. We've got yet another chart, which is not part of the builder yet because I just don't have time to work on it lately. Yeah. But we got another chart we're going to do some rolls on because you got 2 years of nothing happened, and I don't think that's possible. In Cyberpunk, it is just not really. I don't agree with the concept of nothing happened that year, nothing interesting. I
always just get my players to re-roll it.
Which, well, in this generator, I did put in. Where is it here? Yeah, so you can pick the percentage, and you can pick that the maximum number of years, or that it's just not possible in the generator. So I thought that was a cool way to handle that part. But there's a expanded one, which I am looking for right now, so we can do that. But let me go back over here. Copy this. We'll take it over to Discord probably.
Yeah, I only saw I couldn't see all of them.
No problem. Let's see
what
if
I
that.
See is the I hate or everyone hates me or it's great.
That's another one of those things. If you want to change it, then I'm fine.
Oh, I don't mind.
Yeah, it's just however you want to play it.
Yeah, none of these I have any problem with. It's really the ones that I have a problem with are the ones where it's like, oh yeah, like you had an addiction for this year, just take like a permanent -2 to your reflex, and it's like, or the -4 attractiveness one. That one annoys me.
No, it bugs the hell out of me too. But I try, unless it just absolutely doesn't fit with gameplay or something, I try to just play that out. Which playing it out might be that your goal in life is to save enough euros to go get surgery done to fix it.
That's
that kind of stuff.
It's already one of my goals is to get enough money to go from an 8 to a 10. So
Biosculpt.
Hell yeah.
All right. So there it is, and I'm going to turn off this now because we got that for you. And you got it over in Discord now, if you didn't see it yet. Okay. All right. So now we have to roll real quick. We're going to roll through this other chart for 2 years, and then we're going to move on. Actually, get you introduced. I was actually kind of hoping in here too that our other 2 players would show up, but they haven't yet. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've actually I didn't ask. Have you played on Roll20 before? You're familiar with that? How the rolling works and stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Very.
Okay. So, give me a die 20. Number 1. You had a 4. Disaster strikes. All right, let's go to 3A. A die 100, please. 28. A contact dies or disappears. So do a die 10. High is that they have died. This would be a contact from your life path. Then the way I like to do it, so it's low. They disappeared. So one of the things too I like to do, anything that happens in your life path is a potential contact. Somebody, anybody you meet, which I didn't read through your whole life path. But
I made like loads of enemies.
Oh.
Well,
okay.
No, in fairness, I made 2 enemies, and then I had a friend on the police force and someone that I dated.
Okay, so it'd be too easy if it was an enemy. So we're gonna make it one of either the person you dated or the cop. We'll make another die 10. We'll say high is the cop.
Yeah, I don't really care which one it is. Oh, look, it's the one with a mechanical benefit.
Of course. So he is, but he's not dead. He's disappeared.
Yeah, cool.
So we don't know what happened to him. He might not be out there somewhere. His name might be Pac-Man. which is a
Yes.
character a player that stopped showing up for games who was playing a former cop. But
Ah.
anyway, and disappeared.
Yes.
That's what happened in the game. He disappeared. So that might fit.
Maybe one of my enemies did it, considering one of my enemies is a cop as well.
Well, could be. So that's, that could be a plot point in here somewhere. You never know. So there you go. That's what happened there. Go ahead.
It bugs me when people just drop out rather than say something.
Well, we've had several of those. Pac-Man did let me know that he wasn't going to be able to make any more. I don't remember if that was in the public chat or not, but he did say something. But there was no warning. You just can't make it anymore, basically. But we've had a bunch of people that get in the game, even build characters, and then just never hear from them again. Completely ghost.
Yeah, I've had that in my vampire game.
Okay, so that handles that year. So we're going to go back to the beginning. Another die 20 for that other year if nothing happened. You just had the 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a 19. Okay,
We've got some sort of like time paradox here, considering my contact disappeared before I made friends with them.
Okay, flip those 2 years then.
Cool.
That's an easy fix. Easy fix. Just flip those. Just flip them. That's right. That's easy. That would be an odd paradox. So 20 is a nothing happened on this chart, and we don't do that. So another die 20, please.
Well, it was a 19.
Right. 17 to 20 is nothing happened on this chart. So yeah, again. Again.
There we go.
You're really
That's
trying to make this a boring year, huh? A 16. That is a romantic something.
Oh, another one.
Let's see.
Mr. Smirage is a Casanova over here.
Apparently.
Considering one of my rivals was also to do with romance.
Okay, so we got a few rolls on this. So die 100. This one goes into a lot more detail on some things that I usually end up just making up. Okay, this is translated from another language, and sometimes things don't make sense. So let me try and give me a second to try and understand what the hell this is supposed to be saying. Okay, you met each other through a friend. We'll just put it that. We'll just do that.
I should probably.
Another.
Are you noting this down, or shall I note this?
Oh no, this. I'm telling you to note. Yeah, this for you to put on your sheet, man. Sorry. Yep, put it. You need to note it all on your sheet. I am only noting it in that this is being recorded, and we could play it back if we had to.
Yep, that's cool.
Okay, so die 10.
Okay. So sorry, what was the 5 again?
Oh, the 5. You met through a friend.
Met through a friend.
A friend of yours introduced the two of you. It was a happy love story. Another die 100. Where's the happy? Happy. Die 14. Okay, so the person with which you had this involvement, their friends don't like you. They hate you, in fact.
Ah, yes. More people do not like me.
Yes. You just don't seem to be a very likable person for some reason.
I have empathy 10. People are just assholes.
Apparently. Okay, so you die 10. This is for male, female. It's an even, which is a female. And now
my character was already bisexual, so it doesn't change anything.
Doesn't, right. Die 100. 76 is They're a corporate.
No wonder
And a
their
die
friends
10.
No wonder their friends don't like me.
Mm-hmm. A 5. Da-da-da. They're just like an office staff employee, like a secretary or something. Yeah, just general staff at a corporation. Now I'm trying to remember. I think there's a list of corporations in here I could use too, or I can just. Actually, it's Militech because I said so. Yep, it's Militech. Okay, and that takes care of that. Is there anything else in your life path that we need to touch on at the moment?
I don't think so, because it was just hang on. So it was nothing, but that translated to one of my contacts went missing, and I had another romantic partner. Then I made an enemy who was a romantic rival.
I hope you've got a really good stealth and hide and evade, by the way, because you got a lot of enemies.
I am fantastic at that. You'll see. And then another enemy from my childhood, and then a romantic involvement with techie, and yeah, my friend on the police force who is missing. So yeah, that's everything.
Okay, cool. So that's good. Okay, so as I was saying, let's try to actually get us going and maybe give Stringer some screen time, so to speak. Okay. So you got this apartment, the combat zone. So would you say you've been in town for very long in Night City, or you just came to town not too long ago?
I would say I've probably been here for quite a while.
Okay,
I wasn't
that's
born
cool.
here,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't spend like my childhood here, but I've probably spent a good couple of years here.
Okay, so you found some point in your history, you and actually that cop friend of yours before he disappeared gave you a connection with a fixer who, for the cost of that combat zone apartment, was able to get you a condo, a sublease on this condo. In other words, it's a condo, it's actually owned by someone, the apartment is, but you don't own it, you're leasing it from them, okay, for that same rate. But in this building right here, can you see that coming up? Roll 20, probably be easiest for you to see it.
Tokutomi Square.
Yes, that's it.
Cool.
Okay, so you've got that building. That's where you've been staying the last couple of years. There's been lots of people come and go from this place. Lots of people seem to live here for a while and disappear, and then somebody else moves into their condo. And there's not really a good rhyme or reason for it. There is a building manager fixer that you don't hardly ever see, but supposedly lives in the building that you send your payments, your rent and stuff to. Let me see. There have been multiple cases of ninjas attacking the building, which have been fended off by some of the residents. There has been, let me flip over. No, wrong screen. Where is it?
Words
Here.
of Mike Pondsmith. Goddamn ninjas.
Well, and you notice it's an apartment building too. I only stole parts of his idea of the apartment scenario. Cool. From that he's done at cons and stuff. I kind of expanded it to more than a one shot, basically, you might say. So there is Charter Hill South. The real quick history of Charter Hill South is that there have been, well, first of all, with the basic history of Night City. The planned city, the perfect city, and then this happened, and then the mob took over, and then the corpse cleaned out the mob, and corporations rebuilt parts of the city, or most of the city pretty much.
Yep.
Okay, so this blue over here to the side is flooding. This part of the city had some really bad flooding. There's the seawall and stuff that up here, and all the stuff in the part of the city, the traditional part of the city, has seawalls, has protection from flooding. And you know, a big part of Night City was built on fill and so on. Okay, so it's a well protected up here, but this part of the city, the corporations that were supposed to be funding the rebuilding to make this part of the city as a whole, one reason or another, fell through, didn't happen, didn't whatever. The seawalls that were supposed to be keeping the bay back didn't work. Bunch of the area flooded. And so you basically have these old buildings, tenements, warehouses, stuff that never got rebuilt. That are just really fairly old buildings, parts of the old towns and cities, the old town stuff that was on the area before. So this area is pretty run down. You would, since you've been here long enough, you would know this. There was this big group, relatively big, a group of fixers that made deals and convinced a bunch of the gangs to actually try to make something of this area. They have opened businesses. The gangs, like the Western Stars, have a theater where they do Western shows, and the Bozos actually run a circus. Although you probably don't want to be there while they're recruiting or after dark, but they do run a circus, and they do get people coming in from the city as a whole to these events. Philharmonics have a playhouse. They do plays. They do very noir type stuff. What would be an avant-garde at the turn of the century type plays. You know, Interview with the Vampire type stuff. Okay. Let's see. The Mongols biker gang run a parking garage. You can see them all listed there. There used to be a couple of others, but through various things, they are no longer there. They, for example, the Juilliards had a stage right here where they did open air shows and stuff, but that blew up one day, killed a whole bunch of people. These red boxes are construction fencing that has gone up. In every case, every time something happens to one of these properties, this construction fence seems to go up fast. The property gets cleared, debris gets hauled away, cleaned up, and these signs for this Robert Roberts property, Robert Roberts Real Estate, Property Management, etc., go up on those places. And it has accelerated in the last couple of weeks. Several more, and then some of these places in the combat zone were taken over just in the last couple of weeks. Yeah, so that's all that. So you don't, I'm sure you don't have a vehicle, do you? Yeah, I didn't think so. I thought I'd ask. Just checking. This building, which at whatever point we can get into it, we want to move on right now, but I actually have floor plans. This building has several, I think it's 5 stories of condos. The top floor is a completely secured penthouse that you never see the owners of, and and then there's 2 levels of parking garage, and there's a maintenance level, sub basements, all that kind of stuff. But you're subleasing, you don't have a vehicle, you do not have a parking space assigned to you. All the spaces are assigned. If you don't have a space, you can't park in the garage. There is a parking lot off the back of the building that's available, though. That covers that stuff. What kind of... Well, actually, I was going to pull it up anyway. What kind of gun did you end up with?
A very small one. It's called the Budget Arms C13.
I'm familiar with the Budget Arms C13. Okay.
Pocket concealable, tiny caliber. It's great.
It's great. Great low holdout, as long as, you know, your enemy is puny and has no armor. But, you know, hey. Okay. Or you can sneak up on him. There's that possibility.
I'm good at that.
Okay, so over here.
Yep.
What's the mechanic's name again? Stringer?
I don't know.
Oh, Stringer. The person that's working on your bus.
Her name is Coyle.
Coyle, thank you very much. So you know, Miss Barrage, if that works for you. Let's see. You know a tech named Coyle who has a auto shop and general repair shop. She works on almost everything. She works on this out of this space right over here. And you yet again are needing some repair work done to your firearm, because that seems to happen often. And she does it pretty cheap. She's willing to take care of it for you. Every now and then, we will say that you've done a couple of things for her in the past, and you've traded out services. Put it that way, if that works for you. Yep. Okay, so you are over there. You're in her shop. She's fixing up your gun again. You've already payment. Everything's already been handled, worked out, whatever. She's taking care of whatever the most recent problem you've had with it was. And she is telling you how you really just need to get a new blasted gun. Why, you know, this thing's a piece of crap. I don't mind working on it. We make good, you know, done some good deals, but really, you need to get something better. Okay, so that's what's happening with you for the moment. Stringer. So,
yep.
Because this is like the third time we've tried to pick this up. As I recall, you'd had your evening of rest, relaxation, and alcohol. And you were wanting to go get the bus, right?
Yep.
Okay. If I recall, just to make sure we're up to date, Marcellus was still at Doc Ox. Vex was going to be at a bar or something. He was getting a call that you'd woken up, and no, Vex went out and partied. That's right. Vex went out to bars and stuff over the night. We didn't do anything for the next day yet, did we? From all that?
No, I picked up the money from Vex.
Okay.
For that job.
That's right.
Bullet is probably going to be waking him up again.
That was the next morning. Yep. Okay, that's right. That was the next morning. We did do that. You got paid. So you got paid for the Mexico job. But nobody else has. So you got that money from Vex. You will find that you missed a message from Coyle that the bus is ready to pick up, and you can come by anytime pretty much, and she'll go over what she did on it and all that fun stuff with you.
Yep.
And let's see, you got that. He's over there. Yeah. So there you go. Would I be correct in assuming you're going to want to go to Coyle's then?
Yep. I'll do my usual and call in at the Black Tacos, grab something for us to eat.
Oh, cool. Okay. So
I'll see if they've got any of that real beef left, but if they haven't, the usual stuff will do.
I understand. So as you're coming out of your condo, as you're going to leave the building, you do hear some very loud pounding on a door. Surprised that the door the door is holding up to the barrage of fists. If you wish to investigate, you will find it is a bullet pounding on Vex's door, and not getting an answer at this point. So,
I'll let Bullet know he was shit-faced last night, but he has been around.
Appreciate that. Bullet says. I guess I'll just come back later. He better not have skipped out with my money. I will find his ass.
Yeah. Right. No, he has got the money in cash.
All right. I'll keep a watch for him. Thanks.
Yeah. No problem.
He heads back to his place. Okay, are you going to walk, or by what means are you going to get to Black Tacos?
I'll walk, it's not far.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. Let me Let me make sure if you don't get accosted. And it's midday-ish at this point, if I recall. It was like 11, I think, when you got the money from them. So give or take midday. That's kind of low. Let me do a... Oops. Okay, so you do witness, as you are walking over there, you decide you cut through the alley here because it's the quickest way to cut through here and you come down here. But as you're coming around this corner, there is an alley going between these buildings right here. And there is a group of, oh, what the hell are they called? Right, the blood raisers. There's a group of blood raisers in there, and they have a few people that are not doing very well. As you go by, you see this event. They do not bother you. If you don't stop to do anything or bother them, they're probably going to leave you alone. It's, life in this part of town. So, do you wish to investigate further or just let it go?
Do they, the people they're harassing, do they just look like civilians?
Yeah. Yeah. Periodically you get between the circus and the other stuff around here, you'll get people coming down, and as just for stream and impulses information, this main street here, you'll get people coming down from the main part of this, from the north part of the city for the different playhouses, for the different shows and stuff. And more or less, the agreement is that they're pretty much safe on that street because everybody's really trying to work together and really trying to make something of the neighborhood and not have it just fall to shit like the combat zone has. But as soon as you get off of that main block, all bets are off. So yeah, if you had to take a wild ass guess, it's probably people that were on that main street doing something. They decided to wander too far south.
Yep.
So, moving on, or are you going to stop and do something? Now, remember, you don't have the linear frame.
Yep.
Okay. So you're just going to go on, you think? You're just going to go on to Black Tacos?
Yeah. I will just stop and I'll call out down the alley. Hey guys, bozos are heading this way. This is their turf.
One of them hears you and looks up, and he's like, "Mind your own business." Then he kind of looks at the other guys and looks around, and they start throwing bodies over their shoulders and stuff and moving away.
Yeah, suit yourself.
Okay, so Black Tacos. There is a new menu up. They actually have some real pork, shredded pork. They do not have any real beef at the moment. They are doing these cheese enchilada like things, plates today, and soy rice.
Yep, meals with the real pork.
Okay. They go ahead.
And I asked them if they've got the new menu.
They will. Yep, you're known at this point. They know who you are and stuff. They will hand you one of the new current copy of the menu. And how many plates do you want? There's two enchiladas.
The meals too.
2 meals.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. They are €25 a plate today.
Yep.
And so you get your plate, you get your current copy of the menu, and head if you're, they get it out. Everything's already ready. They just throw it on the plate, hand it to you, hand you your menu. You're done. Pay, and you're done. So you're good from there. This, by the way, there is a impulse, since you've been in town long enough. There is a Mexican ish type fast food restaurant across the street, which periodically, by no idea how, actually, do you have Streetwise? I should ask.
No.
Okay, so no, you don't. So yeah, you have no idea how it is.
Oh,
They
shit.
sometimes seem to have real meat or real vegetables every now and then. When they do, it tends to be kind of expensive, but not as expensive as you might expect either.
See,
Every now and
because
then.
I don't know where it's coming from. I'm probably like suspicious of the meat. Vegetables I'm cool with, but the meat I'm like, is it rat or dog or human?
Burrata? Burrata?
Yeah, I'm back now. It
Or long pork?
it
Sorry,
crapped
bud.
out on me.
Oh, didn't know you were gone. Sorry, man. It hasn't been long enough for you to realize.
Good evening.
Hello!
Hey.
We have a new person. Excellent. Well,
Well,
no,
not new.
Not new, but you know, new to today's stream. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Joining back after a bit of a delay.
Yes. Yep. Well, welcome back. Let me see. So, to the quick introduction, we have a new person. If you don't see that,
Yep.
Impulse.
Hey.
This is Impulse. I don't know if you've watched if you're watching the stream at all. Mistress Mirage is character. The role is the Prowler. It's one of the extra roles out of Wild Side.
I know it well.
Okay, cool. So, Stringer will get you a little bit further, and then I'll get Marcellus in. Okay. So, you got your. Oh, I'm sorry. Impulse. I was letting you know. So yes, they occasionally have this real food. You have no idea how or why. It's just a little. Well, you know, anywhere you have a low income area of town and there's a little Mexican type restaurant that's fast food, and it's like extended family run.
Okay.
It's like
and they just happen
everybody that works there seems to be related or at least be very familiar with each other in some fashion or another, and work together really well. And it's very well organized, and the hierarchy between employees seems to be very tightly maintained.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, and there is a big warehouse that's that's in the next building right behind the fast food place.
Yeah.
That is well maintained and secured and so on. Just it's obvious.
Cool.
Okay, so there's that stuff. Stringer, you got your plates of food. You're heading over to. Did you want to check out the menu at the moment, or do you want to just head over to Coils?
I'll head over to Coils, but
Okay.
yeah, I'll stick the menu in my pocket.
Okay. Well, today, as you head across the street, the garage door, whatever, you know, the big vehicle door, is about halfway open, which means most cars could probably get in and out, but your bus couldn't, the way it is.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's partially open. As you walk up to it, you'll notice that that armature with the camera on it that usually, you know, is at the door. When you knock on the door, it comes out and scans you and stuff. That seems to be that's gone completely. There's just a cover plate over in the wall where it used to be. However, as you start to duck your head under the door or whatever to come in, there are two full-size Apex auto defense systems sitting just inside, and they seem to be on tracks. And as soon as you start to get underneath it, they both point at you and obviously starting to target you. And Coils, hearing them start to move, looks up, goes, "Hey, Stringer," and then starts a series of alphanumeric characters that you swear are 3 or 4 different languages. and at the end of it, like 150 characters at the end of it, both machines stop targeting you and just go back to kind of scanning back and forth just the entryway as a whole. But these are the big ones. These aren't like the little ones like you guys got picked up at that other job. These are like the size of a Volkswagen, each one.
Yeah.
And you know, these are like anti-aircraft sized. Okay. So you come in. She says they're at their you know, she's got the picnic table type table where you guys normally eat, and she'll do small work sometimes if it doesn't require like an actual tool bench and a bunch of tools and stuff. She is at that table. She says, "Come on over," and there's another person, which I'll let you describe your character here in just a minute. But there's another person at the table with her, and she has a cloth laid out and a firearm completely disassembled on the table, and she's in the process of putting it back together after having done something to it. And Impulse, I should have asked, do you have Weaponsmith or Weapon Tech? Whatever it is on this sheet. Oh, what do you have it at?
Not hopeless. It's 1.
Okay.
But my tech stat is also 8.
Okay. Well, I with Weapon Tech and in general, I'd say a 1 is going to be enough. You know, if you need to clear basic jams, if you need to, you can clean it properly. You know how to take it apart, put it back together to clean it. But actual repairs,
yeah, like something inside broke.
Maybe
not.
I
don't
not
know
so
what
much.
This is.
Right. Exactly.
I took it apart as much as I could to clean it, and I was
this component's obviously cracked, and you're like, I have no idea what this thing's called or how to replace it or what to do. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So that's what she's doing. That's what you're doing. I'm gonna, depending on what he wants to do, I'm gonna go over to Marcellus and see if I can bring him in too, so we can all see the bus. Those of us that are here can all see the bus at the same time. Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
And meet our new character as well at the same time. So, Marcellus.
You.
How are you today?
Oh, well, you know, not bad at all.
Excellent. You had a good game?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Wasn't bad.
I'll try very hard to not bug you too much and, you know, ask you for details.
Yeah, you can ask away, but they won't be forthcoming.
I understand.
Much as I want to share them.
I understand. I'm just messing with you. Okay, so I'm not sure when we okay. Were you here last week at all? I don't remember.
No, I haven't been there since before Christmas because of moving and relocating and everything.
Okay. So, let me see. Okay, so where we are, actually where you are waking, and we're going to kind of, because it's already been a while, I had some technical issues, you know. But where you're at Doc Ox, if you remember who that is, the Ripper Doc.
Yep, that's where I was.
Okay. Yep. Let's see, were you involved in the good deal on the cyberware?
I was the one that created the good deal on the cyberware.
Okay, very good. Very good. So you know about that. You got your stuff. You had at some point during that time while you were checking out your new stuff, and he was getting you set up. You started having basically a seizure, and had to get back on the table. And he continued to treat you. And basically, the other PCs that were there at that time left one way or another, because you weren't there at the next one, and you know had to do something with you.
Yeah,
so you're waking up on the table again, and pull you up here real quick and make sure I got my memory right. Moment, come on. Make sure I'm telling you right here, I think. Da, 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 da. Okay. Were you injured in the Mexico incident? As part of all that?
I was, hence why I now have tech hair and
Right.
what have you.
That's what I thought. That's what I was trying to verify. Is it not? Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm sorry. Give me a moment again. I'm looking at your sheet.
Yeah.
There it is. It wasn't okay. For some reason my screen didn't update with those. It wasn't showing it the first time, and now it is. I don't know. Okay, very good. That's what I thought. So everybody. So the other guys were there. You guys were checking out your new tech here. The menu options and playing with that a little bit. You started going into to a light seizure. Doc Ock immediately got you back on the table, sedated you. You don't know what happened, but the other PCs had left. You are now coming back around. Now, in this time in between, you had some. I don't remember if you had these dreams before, but you've had some really odd dreams, very, very hyper realistic dreams. That you had different kinds of other cyberware that you don't have, like that you had a full arm replacement and you went and tacked a bunch of boosters. Things that you wouldn't normally do, like, you went out with a whole new group of people that you'd never met before, and see something in an alley, some boosters doing something in an alley, and decided to go intervene, even though they were Maelstrom and you were underarmed. Things like that. Just weird, realistic dreams. One of these hyper realistic dreams, Stringer actually had an external, the cyberware version of the heavy linear frame, the bolted on permanent type. So just really, really weird stuff. Hyper real, like you were there right up until the second you start to wake up and realize it must have been a dream, because those things didn't really happen, right?
I'm pretty sure.
Yep, exactly. So that all happens. You start to wake up. You don't. You still got your tech hair and stuff. Doc Ock says there must have been something, a chemical, maybe a biological something, agent that you must have contracted in Mexico, because you had this problem, and he's corrected it now. You're okay. You're still good. And unless you need something else, get the hell out.
Man, Doc, I had really weird, super vivid hallucination shit going on. What the fuck were you pumping in me?
Nothing. I don't know. No, I mean, yeah, there was some stuff. There's things to help clear the bioagent out. We ran you through a detox machine to make sure you were cleaned out. But other than that, you've been on this table for about a day or more.
Shit.
Do you want to do a human perception?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Okay, that is not enough to you believe him. You got, or I should say, from observing him, you have no reason to believe that he's not telling the truth.
I believe it. Absolutely. Yep.
So.
All right, look. You're saying I'm clear. I'm good to go. How do I feel? Yeah, as I move my body and stuff. Does it feel?
You're a little bit stiff. Just like if you'd if you'd slept too many hours and you're stiff trying to getting up, that kind of thing. But even just a little bit of stretching or just a little bit of moving and stuff, and that starts to clear up. generally, you feel pretty good. The I don't remember if I mentioned before, but if you have some scars, anything from Mexico, excuse me, any scars from Mexico, any scars from previous injuries and stuff are gone. By the way,
Yes. Yeah.
between the skin weave and your healing from, or getting him healing you from your Mexico injuries, those are all gone. But yeah, no, in general, and the more you're standing here, even just a couple minutes and talking and moving around some, you're feeling pretty good. Normally.
Oh,
Other than the tech hair is still a little bit weird, but other than that.
yeah. Oh, well, I'm going to select that flame pattern that I put into my favourites and gander out onto the street and start heading back.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, so you're heading back like to the apartment?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. Stringer, are you interested? Do you want to have the other people you've been running around with check out your bus too?
Yeah, but I can either do that now or when I take it back to the parking space.
Okay.
I don't mind.
Okay, let me see. I was gonna thinking if let's let me see here. I was just gonna say is get Marcellus or go ahead and get him to come over. I was just trying to. I'm sorry, I didn't have a good hook for getting him to come over to Coils. You know, and I understand you probably, Marcellus, you'd want to head back to the apartment because you've been having a lot of injuries and healing up and stuff.
Yeah, it's cool.
So it's a reasonable thing for you to be heading back there. But so if you want to head back to, okay, let's see. Do you know Marcellus? Do you know Coil? Have you been introduced before?
No.
You have not. Well, that doesn't help. All right. So bottom line, Stringer, if you want to let any of the other players know that you're going to be picking up the bus if they want to come and check it out. Yeah, otherwise, we'll just assume that you go over the stuff when you get back to the apartment, and so that way Marcellus hears it either way. Of course, if he's not in the room, he won't be able to contribute to the conversation.
No, I probably won't invite him over after what happened when I took Vex around there.
Okay, so Marcellus, we're gonna go over. We're gonna do the bus pickup and stuff. You can hear the description because you're gonna see it soon anyway. Do you have anything particular at the apartment you want to do? You won't have any problems getting. Actually, I will roll it because these things are random. So I'm not going to assume that you won't have any problems getting back. Yeah, you have absolutely no issues getting back to the apartment.
No, it's just getting back, getting some food, and then actually loosening up and making sure that my body works properly by doing some training in my dojo room.
Right. Okay, that works.
Yeah, I want to get loose and flexible and free after having seizures and God knows what.
Right.
And also make sure that I don't go into another seizure.
And yes, and make sure you can function without having another seizure. That is true as well. Okay. So you go do that. Stringer, you are at Coil. We're going to go back. So you're going to do that for a while. We're going to go back to Stringer. Stringer and Impulse at the at Coils. Adjust you a little bit here because you moved. Okay. Let's see. So yes. Okay. So you brought the food. You sat down on the table, Stringer. I assume you would. Coyle says that she'll be available in just a minute. She's just finishing up the repair on this person's. I wasn't sure how to say that because I will let Impulse go at a good time if you want to go ahead and describe your character, what they're wearing, how they look, stuff.
Sure.
What they're wearing or not wearing, as the case may be.
I bought clothes.
Okay.
With my little amount of money that I had. So yeah, it's a fairly tall woman, who's wearing like what looks like it's like sportswear basically. So like some track pants, some trainers, like a short sleeve t-shirt, and what else? She doesn't appear armed or armored, like at all. And yeah, sort of long black hair, blue eyes, and looks pretty in shape, I would say.
What's your body?
Well, she looks 8, but it's actually 10 because of muscle and bone lace.
Oh no, the muscle and bone lace is actually changes your appearance too. So you will look 10.
I thought it was because it's nanomachines basically.
It actually weaves additional fibers and muscle into your bones, into your existing muscle. So it's not like a mechanical thing. It's actually increasing muscle mass and synthetic fibers. Muscle and bone lace is additional muscle and synthetic fibers being woven into your existing muscle.
Okay.
So
yeah, it looks pretty strong.
So she's pretty buff. Kind of and of course, again, I would say you have leeway here, but in general, that would be the female bodybuilder look.
Yep.
I don't know. She doesn't do any strength training. It's a lot of endurance.
So not huge, bulky muscles, but very toned muscles.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so there you go. Stringer, you want to describe yourself, since Impulse hasn't seen you before.
Yeah. Brown hair, shoulder length, expensive looking suit. Obviously carrying something under one of the each shoulder, and I've got a shoulder bag that I carry and a fairly large size takeout bag.
Okay.
Yep. And Coyle, as I recall, is a very stereotypical tech. Tends to bounce around a lot in what she's doing, is periodically smoking or trying some kind of a something, medicinal, of course.
Yeah, she's 5 foot tall, yellow hair.
Yep, there you go. Okay,
medium build, appearance 7.
And her shop, by the way, is usually very well mechanically defended. Something. It varies. It seems to constantly change. Every time you come over, there seems like there's something different. Like right now, I described those big, oversized, like you'd have on the roof of a corporate building, Apex auto tracking guns systems. And these are, but usually they're mounted somewhere. These are on tracks and seem to be able to move themselves around. But she's had that. She's had other types of automated weaponry. She's had cameras that come out on arms and check you out. It just varies. It's whatever she happens to be messing with at the time.
Yep.
So
I'll produce the takeouts, and I'll say I've got real pork this time.
All right, she says. Yes, go ahead.
Really quick question, sorry, GM.
Okay.
Is Coyle the techie I had a romantic involvement with, or is it a different one?
Good question. I like that. Let me pull up your sheet for a second. That is a good point. Good question.
Because that was year 20 was romantic involvement, fast-paced hot dates with a female techie. That's the only reason I'm asking.
I'm looking at this here real quick. Wait, I'm sorry, year 20 it was?
Yeah, year 20.
Yeah, right there. Okay, it was FAHD, okay. Well, let's just do it this way. I'm going to give you a pretty decent chance of that.
Well, I've known Coyle for 9 years because she was my contact in year 17 and I'm 26.
So yes, you know she has dated off and on all along that time that you've known her. Some of the people you've met maybe in going out to a club with or something, but just don't necessarily meet everybody she's been with or been out with, you know.
Yeah.
So yes,
Okay.
yes, Mirage, Coyle is that person. So you can put her information in on that year too.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I left it to random. That makes a good connection for why you're using her and why she's willing to give you. And how did I didn't see it? It was just yeah. So yeah, you went out sometimes. You went to clubs periodically. You had some good times for several months. It wasn't a good or bad break. It wasn't even a breakup.
Yeah.
It was
it
just
serious. It
right.
was just like.
Yep. I'm busy. You're busy. We didn't see each other for a while, and we just stopped doing that.
Yeah.
It was no big deal, as far as it goes. It's yeah. So so yes, that was, and that was that was just a year or two ago, right? For you?
A year ago, yeah.
Year ago. Okay. Okay. So there you go. So you know her. You know Coyle pretty well too.
I'll look at Coyle. I'll look at the gun on the table. Mm-hmm. I'll smile and I'll say to her, "I've got a new toy as well."
And she is actually. I'm gonna roll for her putting this up. She actually, as she's putting your gun back together, there's a snap, and she's like, "This thing is such a piece of shit." And she goes over as Stringer, as you were saying that this happens. She goes over to another counter, digs through some little cubby drawers, pulls out a couple of more parts, goes over and starts working on the gun again. What'd you get, Stringer? What'd you get?
Oh, I'll reach under my jacket. The Boomer Buster is in the shoulder holster. The other one is at the belt. I'll take that out and thunk on the table.
The other new one, not the Boomer?
Yeah.
Okay. So she's continuing to work on your gun, and it's just a couple more things don't go in right, and she ends up going to some drawers and pulling some other stuff out, and she's got a little file, two or three little different kinds of files, and she's messing with parts and fitting it back together, and then she takes this part back, she eventually gets it all put back together as you guys are having this conversation. She does get it put all back together, racks it a couple of times, puts a couple of rounds in it, looks around, and there's over on one side, there's on one wall, there's actually one wall that is several sheets of steel or other ceramics or metals. There's some like armor plating off of maybe a military vehicle, and this stuff is all stacked. And then there's a wheeled thing with like a 6-inch piece of something. It's all stacked in a row over toward this one wall. She looks over at it. She leans over, puts her arms out, fires 3 or 4 rounds, clears it out, runs another cleaning thing down the barrel one more time, hands it back to you. Says, "Okay, it's fine. It's done. It's working again."
Thank you once again. What would I do without you?
Yeah. Okay. So as this, she's handing it back to him as you're putting down. Okay. Impulse, this guy has got to be a freaking solo. He doesn't seem to look like one. He doesn't dress like one. But he's got a boomer buster under one arm. And he just dropped the fanciest looking semi-automatic you've ever seen on the counter, on the table. Let's see. You're not a solo. You have weaponsmith. Roll your weaponsmith. We'll see. We'll see if you know what it is. It's uncommon enough that it's not going to be one you just pick up. It's not something you just go to the mall gun store and pick up.
But it's probably been on more than one gun magazine centerfold.
That's true. Yeah. That is true.
It's uncommon enough that you don't see them every day, and I've now got 3 of them.
This group's been through some stuff already. So, yes, he puts down on the table a Malorian 3516. Is it 3516? Is that right? I got my numbers right. Yes, a Malorian though.
I don't know the number. I've just written Malorian down because we all know what it is.
Right. I'm pretty sure it's a 3516. They actually have a couple of other guns, but they're completely different. One's like a sliver gun or something. But anyway.
Yeah.
So, yes, that's what he puts down on the counter. And Coyle's like, oh, I've been wanting to play with one of these. Immediately picks it up, pulls the slide off, starts not completely disassembling it, but takes the slide off, pulls the part of the trigger out, and starts checking it out, looking at it. And she's like, this is so great. I have always wanted one of these to mess with. It's been modified, she says.
Oh, yeah. Fully auto now.
That makes sense. And she kind of looks
Extended
at you.
clip.
She looks at you, looks at your... She's like... She reaches out, unless you try to stop her, of course, Stringer. She reaches out to the hand, the arm opposite whichever side you pulled the Malorian. So the hand that you would use to draw the Malorian, whichever side you had it on. Okay?
Yeah.
She reaches out to that arm. She's like... She goes... Can't use that. Thing's going to break your arm.
Just a minute. I'll open up my shoulder bag where I keep the cameras and other stuff.
There's a very quiet giggle.
And pull out the battle glove.
Mistress Mirage, who's just got her arms like folded and is just kind of watching with wild amusement.
Yeah. No, reach into the bag and pull out the battle glove.
That'll do it.
Yep.
Are you trying to play solo now? She says.
No, but I'm not the world's greatest shot, so I like to make certain that it counts when I do hit.
That makes sense. I like it. She says. She says, do you mind if I put a couple rounds through it? Yeah,
do you need the glove or?
She says no. She puts it back together, racks it a couple of times. She actually unloads your magazine completely and grabs some of her own ammunition. It goes through another thing and pulls out. There's she's got several drawers of different kinds of rounds, different kinds of ammunition, some really weird looking bullets and stuff. And then she has a tub sitting here and she starts digging through the tub, the bucket, and finds 3 rounds of 14 that'll work in the Malorian. Loads it up, slides another cart about 50 feet from all that steel and armor and stuff I was talking about, and mounts it into a jig on the cart. Hits a couple buttons. The cart shoots, just goes pop, pop, pop at each of the 4 legs. So basically it secures itself to the floor. Mounts it in there, and then hits a button. And the trigger pulls.
Yep.
And one shot goes off. And she hits a couple things and hits another button and goes, and both of the other 2 rounds go off. And this thing fires. It hits a spot. They go through very nearly the same spot on the target. It's dead on. And she takes it all apart and she runs a cleaning swab through it and hands it back to you. And She says that's nice. You got to make sure and bring it to me when you need to work on it.
Yeah, I'm
not that
hoping
it's
to upgrade
likely
it
you
to.
will, but
I was thinking of upgrading it to electro.
Electrothermal enhanced, huh?
Yep. Yeah, custom gel grip. Or does it? You know, if it hasn't already got an integral smart in, I think it does. But you know,
do you have a smart
red dot sight, match trigger?
Do you have jacks or the Palm?
I have smart
or
goggles.
Whatever? You have the goggles. That's right. You were plugging. I think you were plugging it into the goggles. Is what
Yeah.
you had to do. So
after I've been to see the therapist and discussed things with him, that's when I'm going to look into actually getting a proper smart link and live wire.
Right. She's like, yep, well, I can do it. She's like, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
And you probably want to see your bus.
Oh, yeah.
So all this time where you guys have been talking, by the way, you have not seen where your bus is. You know, she's got a fairly big place that she works. There's enough room for like 3 or 4 Greyhound buses in here. You know, or like one big bus and a bunch of vehicles or other stuff. There's all kinds of stuff around here being worked on. So she pulls back. I don't know if I have it right here. Let me see if I can pull it up. Anyway, maybe I've got. Did I do a? Oh, that's right. I did a. Sorry, guys. Let me find it here. There it is. So this is. So she pulls back. There's this one section that's got a curtain blocking it all off. And she pulls it back to reveal the pink bus.
Yep.
And it looks almost exactly like when you dropped it off.
Yep.
But if you want to do an awareness notice, you can. Impulse, do you recognize the bus? You as opposed to your character.
I actually don't.
Oh, you familiar with the TV show Max Headroom? It's from Max Headroom.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay. It's extremely cyberpunk. Yes, it's from the TV show 30 Seconds into the Future. Or that was just the first one, but anyway, from that show. What'd you get?
I fumbled, so.
I see that. So yeah, you're like, it looks exactly the same.
Which is what I asked for. On the outside.
Right. But the rust, it's still rusty. And she was going to fix that and stuff like that.
I wanted it to still look like a hunk of junk.
Right. It does.
Yep.
Yeah, there's definitely a raised eyebrow from...
Do you, Mirage, want to run roll awareness notice? And Marcellus, but though you are not technically in the room, if you would like to roll one for when you do see it, you may. Just so we can have the conversation all at the same time.
Sure.
And I hate to leave you just out there, observing.
No, it's fine. It makes sense for me to be left out there.
I got a 20.
Okay. So Marcellus, when you go, Mirage, you don't pick it up. Actually, no, Marcellus doesn't either. Yeah, this thing looks like a rusted piece of crap.
I have already seen from when I've been there before that when I look at the places that are rusted, behind it there's it's been patched up on the inside. And so that on the outside it still looks like crap.
It just looks, on the outside it looks just as bad. It still looks all rusty and stuff. Now, yeah, it depends on what you want to do and looking at it, checking it out. But it still looks terrible. Now, the only exception to this, the tires are very dirty, and they actually, even the tires look dirty and terrible, and the sidewalls, the sides of the tires look cracked and like they couldn't possibly hold air.
Yep.
So yeah, it looks pretty bad on the outside. At the moment in here, the flag it does like these flags, and the larger antenna mast is not up. That stuff is laying down on top.
Yeah, it would have to be collapsible for
right.
practicality.
It's too, even in here, this building is not big enough to have that stuff sticking up. So that stuff's laying down on top. But yeah, she says, there it is. She says, catch, and she throws you a couple of. She actually throws you a couple of keys, and part of the keys, there's a keychain that has a QR code on it as well, which you would know if you had the appropriate cyberware. You could use that to link your like if you had interface cables or machine or vehicle link, you could use the code to help you connect to the first time get connected to the machine, to the bus. So she says, there it is. Still looks like crap, just like you asked. And she walks over to it and runs her hand down where some of the rust is. She says, but smooth as silk. And you're like, but it's still rust. How can it be smooth? So it's up to you what you want to do, if you want to check it out or how you want to proceed. Or either of you for that matter.
I open my mouth to say something, but then I close it because I'm still like, because I was literally about to be like, but it's still rusty.
Exactly.
And I'm like, it's not my bus, so I'm like, no, I'm not gonna say anything.
She says, it came out perfect. She says, it took me some of the parts took me 4 or 5 tries to get this to look just like it did. She says. And then
you have an interesting definition of perfection.
She actually grabs a bat that was laying up against one of the workbenches, and comes over and winds up like she's going to take a swing at the side of the bus. Nobody's going to say anything. She does. She takes a swing and hits the side of the bus, and it actually kind of leaves a bit of a scuff, which she scrubs that a little bit, and the scuff goes away, and that's it. She goes, what do you think? Jesus. Stringer, are you there? I wonder if we lost him again.
Yeah.
Ah, there you are.
Yeah, that looks good. All the rust. Is that real rust or is it fake?
She's like, this is all paint.
Yep.
Paint and some additives to the paint and stuff like that to make it look right. She's like very, very, she's like super proud of herself of how this came out. She's like, come here, feel it. And she walks, I was going to say, she'll come over and grab both of you by the arm and start trying to drag you over there.
Yep, I'll go over and feel it.
She's just like really wants to show this thing off. It's like so obvious. It's, you know, if she'd rolled a cool check to you know, whether she kept composure about it or not, it would be a 1. You know, she just really wants to show it off to you. She says something, you know, it took longer than I expected. It was only supposed to take 2 or 3 weeks, and it's been like a couple of months, but it's perfect. But yeah, if you do that, if you walk up to it and you feel it, it's like a show car paint job. If you close your eyes and run your hand down it, it's like a show car paint job. It's perfect. There's no imperfections in the metal and the paint. It's smooth. But then you back up a few feet and you look again and you're like, but that looks like it's about to fall off. It's so rusty. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Which is exactly what I wanted.
I'm impressed.
Let's check out the inside.
So Stringer, if you want to, because you know it better than I know of it, but you know it better than I do. If you want to describe it, it is pretty much the same as you recall. It does have a more comfortable looking couch from what it had.
Yeah.
It's clean. You know, it doesn't have the papers everywhere and the junk everywhere, and there's no buildup of grime and stuff. It's perfectly clean. But as far as
Yep.
the stuff that was in it, as far as the things that were may or may not have been functional, are all functional, except for some things that may have, you know what I mean, things that are completely useless are just props, but they all look really good. Seats are comfortable, couch is comfortable, that kind of stuff. But yeah, if you want to describe it for real quick.
Yeah. You could always unlock the bus channel now.
Yeah, I'll do that. That's right, because there's a bunch of pictures over there. I forgot about that.
Yeah, there's a vid phone in there that consists of one of those old portable TVs with about a 4 or 5 inch screen that's also got radio and cassette player built in, and underneath that there's an old landline phone. It's basically an untraceable phone. There's a kitchenette, and there's an old-fashioned, maybe 1960s style fridge. They're those big ones that used to have the rounded edges.
The ones that were originally ice boxes that you'd put a chunk of ice in, but then got converted or, you know, whatever to actually have a compressor and all that. But they still look the same as the icebox versions.
Yeah, the reason for keeping that is that a lot of those were actually lead lined.
Hey, just ask Indiana, you can survive a nuclear explosion.
There's 2 video editing suites, one which actually uses videotape and old CRT monitors, and the modern one. You know, there's all sorts of stuff pinned to the walls and the roof, old movie posters, things like that. There's the Blitz Media Globe that turns around and wobbles as it does.
I will mention, it does seem like it might be just, you know, as familiar, since you are so, Stringer, you might notice, you're so familiar with it. It maybe seems like things are just a little bit tighter, like the space inside might be just a hair tighter than it was, but only by a couple. But if it is, it's only by a couple inches. You know, it's built a little better than it was, and it took without making the whole thing bigger, you know. But yeah. Where is?
Yeah, I mean, there's the modern media equipment in there, and then there's the you know, the low tech you know, media of last resort, you know, including things like a typewriter. So if push comes to shove, reports can be made and mailed in.
Impulse, over in Discord, do you see and can you join the channel that's called The Bus?
The Bus, yep.
Okay. And you should be able to see that if it loads the history, you can see all the other pictures of it and stuff.
Yeah, I'm a scrolling.
Okay. So that is The Bus. Now, I don't know if those pictures are all the same one. There was the
yeah, I only used the one from the British pilot.
Okay, very good. That's what I was going to say. The pilot was British. The show was then made in the States, and they used a different bus.
Yeah.
So there's some significant differences in the exterior of the American one, and the interior for that matter. But anyway, there you go.
Yeah, and there should be a few things like gun racks in there.
There's a couple of spots. There's easy access places to put long weapons near the pilot area, and near the door, the side door and stuff. And that's all you know at the moment, as far as that goes.
Yep.
She will kind of half whisper, which is not really as much of a whisper as it probably should be, that there's some compartments she'll have to show you in private, because they're, you know, where you can hide other stuff if you want. But that's not surprising. It's not surprising that there would be such, But
yeah.
Anyway, yes, there are some of those. It's got the stuff in it. It doesn't have any actual guns in it. It doesn't have any ammo in it or anything like that. She said as she's talking about, she's like, it's just like you. It's like you asked for. It is. I completely built a custom frame. She says, it's on a whole new. So the chassis has completely redone. The motor, transmission, the whole drivetrain, all the mechanical stuff has been redone. Everything works perfectly. It's brand new, virtually. She says.
Yeah.
The dash, you see, it looks exactly like it was, and she goes over and hits there's a part of the dash where there's a curve to it. She just kind of puts her finger along it and then pushes, because it's a completely hidden button. You have to kind of feel for it and then push it. And when she hits that, part of the dash actually kind of comes out a little bit, rotates, and comes back in. And now it looks like a completely modern vehicle. It's got a big, like a 15-inch screen there, a full keyboard that's built in right there, and what you'd expect to see in a fully modern vehicle in Cyberpunk 2020 modern vehicle.
Yeah.
There's one spot that looks like it looks like it's got like 3 cigarette lighters in one place. But she'll point this out. One of them is the traditional power port, or whatever, if you want to use it for that. But the other 2, are for cables.
Yep.
It looks like it, but if you put your jack in there, there's actually in the back. There's actually jacks to plug into. She says, yeah, it's got the whole thing. It's got the extra robustness that you requested. And it even has limited. She's like very, very limited. But she goes, she like hits a button on the steering wheel. She goes, BTB, start the motor. And you hear this, and the engine starts up.
So like limited voice control.
It's got some voice control, she says. And I actually, she says the deck, I actually found across the street they had a cyber deck. Good deal. They got like a whole crate of them in or something. And she says, and I needed a computer to run all this stuff, and it didn't really matter what kind it was, but that's what they had over there. So this thing has a full cyber deck installed. I don't know how to use it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got it set up to do the automation stuff, but I'm not a net runner, so I don't know about the rest of it, or what else, or even what's in it or anything like that. But it's in there. So yeah, if you had a net runner that could play with that stuff, it might do more. I don't know. She says. It has. She's like, oh, this is cool. She says. She hits a couple more buttons, and that visor that's across the front that comes out over the top window, that whole visor comes down and completely covers the windshield.
Ooh.
And as it comes down, a screen, not like a projector screen, but this mesh kind of thing comes down on the inside, and a whole heads-up display, cameras. There's like a camera showing out the front. There's a camera at the back. There's cameras on the sides. All this stuff starts coming up on the displays. This is cool, she says.
Oh yeah, very.
So yeah, there's your bus. I hope you like it.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun with it. Yeah.
This is brilliant. There's one other thing. If this stuff with the redevelopment plans for Charter Hill
Mm-hmm.
You know, if that all goes wrong and they do level the lot and we have to lay low outside of Night City for a while, yeah, more than welcome on the bus.
She says she appreciates it. She's like, I've actually got a whole kit set up and stuff just in case I have to bug out, because some of that shit's getting pretty bad.
Yeah.
And Impulse, you're like, huh? You've heard the explosions and you've seen the fences go up and stuff, but you're not familiar with what they're talking about. And
I gotta like look at them as they making this conversation. They say, "Well, planning for the apocalypse, you two?"
And she's like, and now she says, she goes like, I got a call. I just got a phone call.
Okay.
And she runs out the bus and somewhere disappears for a bit. She comes back with just before you can even start to answer, she comes back in. And she says, I've got an emergency from a client. I need to go work on something. Do you mind?
No, not at all.
She's, you know, like, she's very nice. She's like subtle and all that, but she's like, I got to go. And as she's saying that, she's like grabbing some tools. She throws a backpack on. And then she takes the backpack off and puts on some Gibson, some battle gear stuff, shirt and pants and all that. And then she's like, starts to put the backpack on, and she takes it off and grabs it. She's got the Gibson backpack and moves a bunch of stuff over and puts that on. And amongst this, she hits the button and the garage door opens up all the way. She's like, you're good to go if you want to head out. It's all set. It's ready for you to drive.
Yep.
She's at this point very, very preoccupied.
Thanks a lot. I'll catch up with you later.
She waves. She's no problem. And she says, she says, if it doesn't take much to notice. She like opens. She like leans over. It's got to be a safe or something. She opens this thing. She pulls out a packet from the safe. It has several pills in it. Closes it. Tears open the packet. Downs everything that's in it. And
okay.
And then she heads toward a motorcycle she's got parked.
Yep. I shall drive off, wave, and head back to the apartment block.
At this point, Mirage, you are in the bus still. Because you guys were in there, you were checking everything out, right? And Stringer, you didn't tell her she couldn't come in.
No.
So she's in there with you.
Yeah.
Now, you may be so excited about your bus, you may have forgot about that part. Actually, let's do... Stringer, would you do an intelligence check? Just a straight, flat, no modifier, whatever. Just an intelligence roll.
Yep.
Okay. Yep, just straight int.
Whoa.
Holy shit. Okay, well that's... you exploded twice, and then you got a 9. Yeah, and then a 9. Okay. So what I was going to see, I was just trying to use something to roll by. Okay, yes, you whether or not you recognized Barrage from the building. And the answer is you've never really met. You've never like hung out at the same time because there's a lobby. The lobby in this building has an entertainment center and stuff in it, all that. You guys have never hung out together. You've never talked, anything else, but you have seen her many times in the building. You know she's a resident of the building.
Mirage spends a lot of time out, like outside.
Do you, Mirage? Would you roll an flat intelligence as well? And Marcellus, if you want to go ahead and roll one too, so we'll know when we get there.
I don't think I can top that. Yeah.
Well. Okay, Marcellus, you do not you won't recognize her from being in Mirage from the building. And actually, Mirage, you don't recognize Stringer, do you want to roll a separate time for Marcellus? Do one more.
Yeah.
Okay. So you haven't seen him
Remember my
yet.
rep.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Thank you. What did he roll?
May not recognize me from the building, but
okay. Yes, I apologize. You do not recognize him from the building, Stringer. That is Mirage, not from the building, but you do know him from TV. He is a media. He's had several of his videos on. There's a very popular real life crime, real life events show. Basically, the entire show is some people going out and do some stuff, and they put it on a 1 hour. They edit it down, and they put it on a 1 hour show, and it's all real life. It's all well, supposed to be, of course.
YouTube content.
Of course, there's the rumors that it's all scripted, that it's all fake, it's all done on a sound stage in Brooklyn or something. But whatever. But yeah, you definitely recognize him from TV. Stringer, that is. And Marcellus, you will recognize Marcellus from the building too. You've seen him around the building quite a bit as well when you meet him in a minute. Okay, so Stringer, are you going to kick Mirage off before you pull out?
No.
Okay, so Mirage, you kind of were standing there checking stuff out with him, and they were talking. Coyle ran out, did the stuff to get ready. You're looking out the window. She got ready, popped some pills, and jumped on a bike. And Stringer sat down in the driver's seat and started pulling out. Started leaving.
The bus starts moving.
The bus starts moving. You're like...
Yeah.
So
once we get out of Coyle's garage, so she can close the door if she wants, I'll look back at Mirage and say, "You heading home?"
I kind of like because I don't know that he lives in the same building as me.
Right.
And I'm like, so I mean, this bus. What are you gonna start operating a bus company? And then it kind of then it clicks, and I'm like, wait a minute, I've seen you on that show, right? And she clicks her fingers. I can't remember what it's called.
He's had some news broadcasts too. He's had some live breaking news stuff. Yeah.
I've seen you on TV, I swear.
Yeah.
And then she kind of looks at all the video editing stuff and it's like, now this makes sense.
Yeah, Ninja Attack on the Western Stars. That's one where I spent more time on film than I normally do because I'm usually behind the camera.
Right.
And then there was that Mexico trip, which is now going to go down as one of the famous kickings of my ass. But hey,
they did pay on the Mexico one. They paid you that initial fee, but as far as you know, it hasn't actually aired yet.
Yeah, wait till the end of the month for residuals.
Well, you haven't even heard that it's aired. It hasn't been on. You haven't seen any commercials for it or any of that fun stuff. But anyway, for that episode, I mean. So yeah, are you going to slow down? Or you're just heading out to head back to the building, Stringer?
Yeah, I'll head back to the building.
Okay, roll drive. You've driven this bus a couple of times, before, and it's been months. So,
Yep, I'm going to use 1 point of luck to avoid the fumble.
Good idea.
To not crash. No, it is. Cool. So I thought I was having audio issues, but I don't think I am.
Well, 19 isn't bad.
No, it's sufficient. And you're going to be being careful. It's not like you're trying to, outrun somebody or whatever.
Now, if I'd had the 2 10s and the 9 on that one, I'd have been home in less than a minute.
So yes, the garage door was starting to open further. You're pulling up to it. You're inching up to it because you're not sure if it's up far enough. You're going to clear everything, because there's all kinds of crap on top of the roof. As you approach the garage door, that dash, because that electronics on the dash is still visible right now, the display comes alive and actually shows a camera from the roof facing forward.
Yep.
And it actually has, there's some like data streaming by of how close you are to the garage door, horizontally and vertically. And one of them's red, and the garage doors continue to move up a few more inches, and it turns green. And just a few seconds later, they're all green. And yeah,
God,
letting you know that you're clear.
Set of cameras you've got on this thing.
Yeah. Well, stuff out of the rule book that I bought for the bus includes like a sonar scanner, measures distance and dimensions of nearest solid object. Motion detector for security when we're parked. Stuff that I've got in the apartment in case we lose power, but they will go on the bus. A couple of them will go on the bus as standard. Our those power grid micro solars and portable electro packs.
So she got pulled away and she didn't tell you about the security system. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yep. Enviro scanner, biological scanner, rad scanner, all the stuff that's just available.
Yeah.
So I just kind of like look and I say, so what is this? Is this going to be for your next show or something?
No, this is for if I have to spend time away from home. I've got everything I need to produce.
Looks like you got everything you need and more.
Yeah.
Quite the setup.
So you get pulled out. I'll mention this and continue the conversation. You do get pulled out of the drive. As the bus is about halfway out for driveway of beyond the garage door, the motorcycle comes flying. Let's find out here. Let's make sure. Yeah, good enough. Okay. She doesn't fumble and like crash into the wall or the side of the bus or something. No, she comes flying out the driveway past, and as you're watching this camera, it's the rear view of the roof cam. As soon as you get far enough, 2/3 or something out, as soon as she gets out, that garage door starts coming back down. You have no problem getting clear of it. As soon as your bus is clear of it, the garage door comes down. You guys did see, if you were watching that rear view cameras, as soon as she cleared the garage door, those two gun on the tracks, those two gun systems, there's a red rotating light came up on both of them, started coming on, turned on, and they started actively scanning the whole building and started to move like they were going to patrol kind of the building. So she's gone. She headed north and is just blank. She's gone. You guys get around the corner. You're headed back to the garage. You don't have any trouble getting back there. So go ahead, your conversation. Sorry to interrupt.
Yep. With the stuff that's going on in Night City at the moment, if everything goes tits up, then we may have to go on the lam for a while. And I've got some friends, some nomad friends. So if I have to, I can go outside of the city and a couple of us can live in here. But I can still work from the bus.
Yeah, when you say nomads, Mirage's eyes, she kind of like perks up and she's like, "Oh, nomads. Who do you know? Just curious."
I'll just have to check. It's the Jodes.
Yeah, she kind of like nods. You say, "It's."
And my contact is Rubio at the local chapter.
She says, "Oh, okay. No, I figured it probably wouldn't be, but you never know. Small world. Grew up with a nomad
Yeah.
myself. Well, sea nomads, I suppose.
Yeah. I used to have friends at the Al-Qaeda pack as well, but ghosts of girlfriends past, and well, the relationship is not what it once was.
As is usually the case. You said about stuff happening in Night City. I'm curious, what did you mean by that? You must have the latest scoop, no?
Yeah, everywhere that's being demolished is being bought up by the same people. I mean, the Robert Roberts sign goes up, but they haven't got the money to put all this together, so they're just going to be a front. But there's plans to go right down as far as the map is, as far as the map goes into the combat zone, to build a new wall for the combat zone further south. And this whole area, Charter Hill, they want to bulldoze it and turn it into, a big thing, like the corporate center, where it's going to be office buildings, shopping, tower blocks, etc. And well, I don't want to give up my home, so if it's possible, we're going to stop it. But having said that, if we can actually find out who's behind it, personally, I'm willing to let it go in exchange for Penthouse. But, we'll have to see how things go.
Up trade. God, no wonder I got the room for cheap.
Yeah.
With it. So, I mean, you don't know who... I'm guessing you don't know who is responsible. But,
right. The group of fixers that were behind, building the neighborhood up, but not flattening stuff. They met up at the Hell nightclub, and a group of Chinese triad hitmen came in and killed 4 of the 7. 3 of them got away, but I'm pretty certain that one of those 3 called the triads in. When stuff was being blown up around here, especially the Juilliards, because there was people in it, it was Arasaka security and samurai who turned up to take control of the scene and stop the rescue efforts.
Always bloody Arasaka.
Yeah. Got all of that on film, and that went out.
I can't imagine they're your biggest fans right now, no?
No. Then another thing, when there was the attack on the Western Stars Theatre, I was in the process of giving a slideshow and information about what was happening when the ninjas attacked. But I got that all on film, and then I edited in the talk I was going to give, and handed that out to the smaller TV stations for free.
Okay.
So you may well have seen that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't watch too much, but I'm pretty sure I've seen. I think I've seen it. But all this, I mean, do you do it alone or got more people to your crew?
As you guys are having this part of the conversation, you're pulling up to the building, and since you hadn't seen the picture yet, on roll 20 now, that is the picture of the building.
Cool.
Parking garage
baseball is
still
there.
I was going to say, there's a baseball that's part of it.
Where's the? Okay. Oh. Oops. Okay, yeah. Let's take care of that. or try to.
Oh, they love their baseball here in Night City.
That's
Where
right.
I'm from, we didn't really play baseball, but you know.
Okay, well, there's no baseball. I don't know why it's not. Roll20's not letting me click on it. So, no, there's no baseball.
That's also.
But I'll mess with it later.
Because I'm not doing the accent because I actually can't. This is one of the ones that I can't do. Mistress Mirage is clearly not American. She's from somewhere in Europe.
Yeah. Well, I'm Italian American. I'm not going to try and do the accent because I'm not very good at accents, but.
Okay.
But also, my parents were part of a crime family, so I've probably, as well as the accent, a bit of an Italian American accent. I've probably got the odd mafia mannerism.
Okay.
Like that thing whenever, so when somebody acts like you've just done something incredibly disgusting, and they kind of like, shrug their shoulders, put their hands out to one side, and like go, what? At least they do in the movies.
Hey, Tony, I made him sleep with the fishes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There you go. So the building is, I'll mention a couple of things on the building. It is, I believe it's 5 stories, which this building is not that tall. It's just, there's a couple more floors in there from this picture. The top floor that you're seeing is that penthouse. Nobody, seen who's in it. Stringer, where is your parking space? Is it on the lower parking level?
Yeah, it is on the lower.
That's what I thought. So that's
my apartment is 4th floor corner.
Okay. This is the quick layout of the first floor, and there's a parking garage entrance on this floor. So you have to pull in, and then you pull around, and there's actually a vehicle lift to take you down to the lower level. I don't remember if that's this. No, that's not this one. So where's my other picture?
Yeah, as you're pulling in, I'm like, wait, you live in the same building as me?
Yeah. I've seen you around.
It's just like a, It's like, no, it's like, I haven't, I thought I would have seen you around, but I guess not.
Okay, that's what we got. Okay, I got it. Sorry, it's been a while since I've needed to use this drawing.
I do frequent the cocktail place just down the road.
So
it's
okay, yep.
Well, on the picture of the apartment block, the next one down, going towards the right on the screen, there's a sign outside that's got one of those cocktail glasses, the ones that look triangular from the side.
Yeah.
Manhattan glass.
Yep. Okay.
So that's probably somewhere that I frequent.
There is on this drawing, actually, get into the right. Sorry, one moment. Get myself on the right screen. Okay, so this is the top one is the first floor. The drawing at the bottom is the first lower level, first basement level, or first sub level. There's a vehicle door here. There's another vehicle door here, but this one is the private entrance for whoever has the penthouse. As condo owner, you pull in this one, you pull over the lift, and it is big enough for the bus. This is a elevator that's big enough to drive the bus into. You take it down to the first basement level and get into your parking space. Marcellus, are you still working out?
I am still working out, I've got to get all these kinks out.
Okay.
Get the spins, the combination strikes.
Doing all this.
Everything's working.
Yep.
So the wooden dummies being done, the bags are being done, the grappling dummies being done.
What about Latex Lil?
I'll leave that one for the media.
You do it, I'll film it.
Oh boy. Okay, so anyway, so yeah, you get the bus parked. Quick thing for impulse for the new person. I'm going to go over on the design here real quick. You can see. Can you see where I'm marking? Yeah, you can see it on the stream at least. If not, you see it on level 20.
No,
These are okay. These are 3 elevators. I believe it was this one without pulling up my notes, but one of them is a private elevator only available to the penthouse. The other 2 go to each of the other floors. They most of the time work perfectly, but sometimes not. There is also around the back a stairwell, or no, sorry, not there. No, I think it. Oh shoot, I don't have it marked on here. Okay, well there is a stairwell right there also. Sorry.
Okay.
This whole area is the lobby. The entrance to the building is a man-trap type entrance with from waist up, clear glass or whatever, plastic really. But it's got one door. That one door has to close before the interior door opens. That kind of stuff. There is a security booth that is almost never manned. There is a mail room, which there's not really running mail in this part of town, so it's just a room that used to, it's got the old style mailboxes though on the wall that you can see from the lobby side. And then there's some offices and stuff. Manager's office. This is where you drop off your rent money.
Okay.
There is a chair and a couple of couches, entertainment system, TV, big TV, all that kind of stuff for tenants use.
Okay.
And the other floors have varying. There's all the way from one room efficiencies like you've got to 3, 4, 5 bedroom condos, and then the penthouse is that whole floor. Of course, nobody's been up there though.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got a couple of things. As you guys were pulling in, let me flip back over to the diagram here. Okay, just as about as you guys are about to pull in, gotta switch this too. Make sure that's good enough. So the parking lot is off the back of the building here where the lettering is. In the road, and I know this map isn't perfect to the shape of the building. The building's actually more square.
Yeah.
But the parking lot's off the back. But as you guys are pulling in, did you roll awareness notice from the 2 of you? And I'm going to do one for Bullet, by the way, which you haven't met, but Bullet's an NPC. You will have seen around the building periodically. There is a guy that, big guy. Where is it? Where is he? Sorry, a moment. Oh, that's why it was closed. There is a pretty big guy. He, you almost always wearing a big trench coat. You've seen him around the building periodically. He looks like a cop. You tend to avoid him, just because
Considering the kind of stuff I do
well,
for a living, yeah.
I
do.
There's no indication that he's a current. You've never seen him in a uniform. You've never seen him wearing anything that would indicate he is like an active police officer. You've never seen him getting in and out of a patrol car or any of that kind of stuff. And even somebody who does undercover or does a detective, now and then he's going to have something. There's never been anything like that, but he has that kind of look like a.
Yeah, it's in my gut. I
Now,
feel.
But now, having said that, he is not. He's a solo. He's obviously a solo though. Okay, so he's not a cop role, but yeah. And you have seen him. He has a pretty decent amount of cyberware, like quite a bit of cyberware, and he's a 12. He's a big guy, body. But anyway, so you've seen him around the building. I mentioned he's an NPC. There's that. I was gonna say, if I get awareness notice, yeah, from you, if you already did, or did you guys already do that? You did that already. Okay.
Yeah, we did it.
Okay. So Stringer, as you are pulling in the parking lot and getting into the garage. The building to the south and east of the condo property, that is like a 2 or 3 story building with flat roof. There is a AV up there, and yeah, 23, and then you rolled a 9. There is an Arasaka AV sitting on the roof of that building. Just, that's it. So that's what you got. Let's see. Oh, that's what I need to do. I need to roll for bullet. That's what I was going to do.
Oh, solos and awareness.
Okay. Bullet is going to send a text to Vex, who's not here, but Vex, Marcellus, and Stringer. Basically, he's going to send one to, everybody. Of course, not to Impulse, because he hasn't met, to Mirage, excuse me, because he hasn't met her yet. But he's sending a text to the rest of you guys to say, just thought we might all want to be aware there's an Arasaka AV on the roof of the building over here. You guys might want to know about that. I'm going to go take a look at I'm going to go check it out, he says in his text. And you guys would know this building has been mostly abandoned. It periodically has transients living in it. It's not in very good shape, but it's solid. Apparently, it's solid enough to support an AV on the roof. Apparently, but there's not any businesses. There's not any formal whatever occupants or whatever that you guys know of. Anyway.
Yeah. Marcellus will send a text back. Want some company?
Oh, to Bullet.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I better, actually, I know what I'm going to do. Give me a second. I am going to roll. Yeah, I guess. Whatever. I'm not waiting for you, though.
Yeah.
He has, as we know, he has a lot of cyberware, and his attitude toward other people seems to vary. Sometimes he's like jovial and joking, and sometimes he's not very standoffish. It just, yeah.
I will,
so you can. I'm sorry.
chuck on a long coat. Put the Malorians back on and head on out and across to the other building.
I missed the first thing you said there you were going to do before putting the guns on.
Sorry, chuck on a long coat. So just go to the armored.
Gotcha. Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
Rather than spending the time going all Gibson, just chuck the armored long coat on.
Okay. So you head out. Let's see, where are we? We're at this building. So you guys head over there. So he is. Oops. Get to the right screen here. Where is it? Sorry, one moment. I need to do another roll for him. If I can find it. Maybe. Okay, well, I apparently am just freaking blind. I'll give it just another second. I'll try to find this roll, and then I'm just going to move on. There it is. Yeah, apparently I'm blind. Okay. Okay. Do you want to do, Marcellus, if you're going to come out and just head over there, if you want to do if you want to try and spot Bullet, you're going to need a shadow track roll. He is trying to be inconspicuous and hiding and stuff because, he doesn't know what's going on. So there's that. Stringer and Mirage, you guys have pulled into the garage. Now I say that you were going to pull. You're pulling into the garage, pulling into the elevator, unless in getting that text right in here somewhere is where you get the text from Bullet. So if you want to go ahead and park, if you're going to do something else, this is the time.
I'll head up to my apartment.
Yep.
I mean, I'm on
Okay.
the 4th floor, so I'm higher than that other building. But also, I'm in the southwest corner, so I can look out over that building. So I can film anything that happens in comfort.
It's on the
But
southeast.
Yeah, but I'm in the corner.
Yeah, I know. I got you. Yeah, no, you're good. Okay, you're cool. Okay, so yeah.
I've also got binoculars and bio glasses.
So Mirage, so the bus gets parked and Stringer gets out and heads toward the elevators. Are elevators or stairs? Stringer. Stringer, are you gonna take the elevator or stairs up?
Elevator this time. It's now 6 floors, so.
Okay, you don't have any trouble. So Mirage, he basically just leaves you sitting there.
Very well.
Oh, did you? I will say this. I gotta ask, Stringer, did you activate the alarm system when you left the bus?
For Mirage to get out.
Okay. There you go. That's what I was wondering.
Cool. Yeah, I get out, and I kind of jog, and I jog past Stringer, and I say, well, see, if you are looking at who's trying to demolish this entire place and need an extra hand, let me know, because I kind of don't want to be homeless either. That would suck.
Oh yeah. So.
Yeah, this building it's got some maintenance issues sometimes, but it is a decent place to live. It's reasonably safe. It's got running water and electricity that's on most of the time and everything. So, yeah, you tend to want to keep this place.
Yeah, luxury.
Yeah. For when the electricity isn't on, I'd say I've also got the rechargeable batteries and the solar panels.
That's yeah. Let me see. So you guys head out that way. The other two are heading the other way. Are you both getting in the elevator?
Yeah, if it's like 5 floors or something, then yeah, I will.
It's going to be at least. Well, let me see. What floor are you on? Let's find out.
I don't know, what floor am I on? Okay.
There aren't any. Okay, there aren't any on the first floor, so you must be on the second floor.
I'm on the 0.5th floor.
That's right. You're on. What is that, John? Not Cusack. Is it Cusack?
I live
movie?
in the crawl space.
There's that. The Being John Malkovich. That movie. There's a half floor. The rent's
That's
really
why
cheap. The rent's really cheap because it's only like a 4-foot ceiling. Anyway, no, you have an apartment or a condo on the second floor. All right, so as you guys are getting into the elevator, you do see Bullet coming out of the elevator, heading through the parking garage. He kind of waves. He doesn't say anything.
Yeah, I'll wave back.
So, yeah,
Okay.
Just kind of
So,
politely wave back. Like, yeah, hi, I guess.
okay. For Bullet and Marcellus, you guys are across the street. You guys, okay, so Stringer's heading up to his apartment, his condo. Mirage, are you heading to yours, I assume? Or are you heading somewhere else? You didn't get the text, but you did see the AV.
Oh, so I did see the AV.
You did see the AV on the roof of the building. Both of you did, as you guys were pulling in the parking lot.
Okay. In that case, yeah, I don't get in the elevator. I'm like,
okay,
I'm gonna go take care of some stuff. See you around, I guess.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm gonna loop around. I want to go find out what's going on as well.
Okay.
Goddamn ninjas.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Okay, I'll be right back. Give me a second. Okay. There. Okay, there we go. Okay. For anybody that's watching the stream. Anyway, you're gonna go. Are you gonna just head out the parking garage and go across the street, or are you gonna try to take a more, surreptitious route or whatever? And when you're ready, roll yourself. Assuming that you want to.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go sort of out the lobby and then loop around.
Sorry, I just had to show off the Beware of Ninjas t-shirt. Anyway.
Yeah, Beware of Ninjas.
Yep.
Cool. So still.
And I just got a few minutes. I've just got a few more minutes here, and I'm gonna have to. We're gonna be calling it, but that's what we got. We'll give in a few minutes.
That's me.
Well,
34.
that's you. Okay. So, yeah. So you step out of the building and blend into the wall. I would say if you had more money, I'd say you must have purchased thermoptics or camouflage. Thermoptic camouflage or something.
No, I'm just that good.
You're just that good. You just blend in to the scenery and stuff.
Yeah.
So all of you guys, everybody then, because they're Marcellus and Bullet, you guys are heading to the building, though neither of you see each other.
Okay? Yep.
So all three of you now are heading toward this building, but none of you have seen each other. So as you guys approach the building from different angles and slightly different times and stuff, two more AVs touch down on the roof of this building. From those AVs, a number of troops pour out. These are not the smaller AVs. There's a good dozen of these two others that come down. There's at least a dozen personnel that come from each of those and jump out and take position. Well, you can't see them, so you don't know exactly what they're doing. Around the roof of the building. Let's see. Marcellus, do you have a preference? There is a main-ish door that is partially boarded up, but it's obvious that there's one that the board will pivot. I mean, it's really obvious that there's one board that you just kind of unhook it a little bit from what it's sitting on, and it'll pivot. It's it's not well concealed at all, and be able to get in the main door. You could do that. You could try going around the side or back or something like that. What would you prefer?
I'm going to go for trying to climb up the outside of the building.
Okay.
It should have good handholds and foot glass. So I'm going to take a corner and work my way up to get onto the roof that way.
Okay, roll athletics. Mr. Prowler, Miss Mirage, what are you going to do?
I've got the same idea. Mistress
Oh, okay.
Mirage is a free runner. So
Oh, that's great. Okay.
fucking, I'm not
So,
taking those stairs.
okay, so neither of you decided which side. So, I'm going to roll which side of the building you guys are on.
Yeah,
Or
it's
each.
wherever I see the best handholds.
Okay.
I'm actually going to spend a point of luck on this to negate a fumble.
Yeah, I was gonna do the same because I don't want to fumble this kind of thing. Oh my goodness!
Yeah. Bring it on, bad boy.
Okay, so one of you is climbing up the east side is on the east side. One of you's on the west side. Apparently, and let's see. You rolled your hell of a self. You haven't rolled your. So Mirage needs your athletics for climbing up.
I'm doing the same using a point because I don't want to fuck it up.
Okay.
You have to remember, Marcellus is quite an extreme athlete.
Yes. Marcellus has no problems at all. You apparently have picked an extremely good place to climb. But yeah, you free climb the side of this building. You're going all the way to the roof, or what, Marcellus?
Oh yeah, yep. I'm going all the way to the roof because no fuckers. They're not really going to expect that.
Okay. Well, as you're approaching the roof, you can do an awareness notice to peek over the top. Stringer, you're going to do an awareness notice for me because I know you're looking out your window and you're going to be recording and watching what's going on.
Yeah. Also, because
yes, sir.
when the other two turn up, I'm going to call my contact at channel 23.
Yes.
Start streaming to him so he can see what's happening.
Okay.
And basically tell him, there was one Arasaka AV. Now 2 more troop carriers have turned up. This could turn into something. So I may as well stream it to you so you can use it if it does.
He says, got it. Keeping an eye on it. We'll see what develops.
Yeah.
Okay, Mirage, your roll is sufficient. You do
20
climb.
For me.
You are climbing up the side of the building. You're having a little bit of trouble. A hand slips here or there or whatever, but you're making it. You're doing it. Are you going over all the way to the roof?
That's a good question. Depends. Do I hear anything? Like, are the windows intact? Do I hear anything inside while I'm climbing up?
Okay. Most of the windows are not. Most of the glass and stuff is not intact. Some of them are boarded. Some of them are open. There's a couple where the panes are there but broken, or it might be a 3 or 4 pane window and one of them's completely broken out. One's there and one's boarded up, or stuff like that. Do you hear anything inside? That would be an awareness notice. Marcellus, your awareness was as you were reaching the roof. So you peek over the roof. At this point, you don't have to do another stealth yet. When you climb up onto the roof, assuming you do, you'll need another stealth roll for that at that point.
Of course.
Okay. But at this point, you're okay. So 22 is sufficient for seeing it. Yes, there are, without taking a lot of time to count, there's at least around 24 Arasaka uniformed security taking up positions around the roof. Some heading toward the edges. There's, it looks like 6 of them maybe that are taking up defensive positions around that first AV, probably.
Okay.
There is, around that AV, now that you're up here, you can see it. You can see it, you can hear. Normally in AV, even if the main motors are shut off, there's running lights, there's power, there's lights from inside, there's stuff that indicates the thing is operational, right? Okay, especially in an environment like this. The thing's not going to be shut down completely. There's going to be a pilot waiting with it. It's going to be, this is a hot zone, basically, kind of thing. That first one that's sitting there, is dead. There's no sound coming from it as far as mechanically or electronics or power or anything like that. There is, as you're looking, you can see somebody trying to get the door open, but having trouble getting the side door open to access it. It is one of the smaller ones, more of a corporate taxi or limo kind of sized vehicle, sized AV. 6, I think they are. But so he's trying to get it open. There's 6 troops taken up station around this one. There's a tech working on the door, and the other, like I said, the others are the other dozen and a half ish are taking up positions in other spots around the roof. Various types of armaments. Some have rifles. Some have. There's a couple of snipers, obviously with big WSSA rifles. There are some that are not carrying rifles. There's 1 or 2 with shotguns. So there's varying levels and types of combatants spread out. So that's what you see as you peek over the roof. Stringer, you're streaming.
Yeah, I'm going to start composing.
Go ahead.
Yes. Commentary.
Okay, you pretty much see what I just described. Your roles.
Yep.
None of the Arasaka people on the roof are attempting to hide what they're doing. Okay.
Yep.
Mirage.
But it's obvious something's wrong with the small AV.
It would, even from your distance, you can't hear it, but they're taking up positions around it. It is an inner circle right near it, and then the whole roof. And there's somebody from your perspective. There's somebody messing with the door, and the door is not opening. So, however you would want to take that. Mirage, you have a 19. So you will you'll see somebody run by inside the building as you're climbing up. If you catch, part of a window, you'll see a shadow or something inside. A little bit of scuffling inside. But again, there are periodically transients, otherwise homeless people that stay in this building. That's not uncommon and known. There's nothing, you don't see any obvious military type or security presence. You don't see anything that would indicate, other than the normal, stuff. Normal homeless that somebody might be staying in here. Somebody might be trying to sneak around inside the building just so they don't get attacked by whoever else is in the building.
Yeah.
But that's what you see.
So it's not my MO to go, confront Arasaka.
Right. Not your normal thing.
So I climb into a window.
Okay.
And I kind of just survey, see if there's anyone else around, any transients.
So this is a 3-story. It is another apartment type building, but this one is more like when it was built, it probably was more almost all efficiencies, maybe some 1 or 2 bedroom, but almost all efficiency type apartments. So very, very high density, but only a 3-story building. You want to go? Which floor do you want to go in?
3rd. I'm not on the roof because that's
not the roof, but the 3rd. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So
I'm close.
Okay. You see remnants of people having slept in here at one time. There is a bit of a stench. There's probably no running water and stuff in this building, so there is a smell, body odor and waste and so on. But you don't immediately, you see some, there's a pile of clothes. There's actually a shopping cart type basket off to one side, laying over on its side. Stuff like that. Some holes in the wall. Lots and lots of graffiti everywhere on the walls. Tags by various groups, gangs, whatever. But you don't actually see any people though. Okay. And you climbed into one of the condos in efficiency, a 1-room not condo, a 1-room apartment type room. Anyway.
Okay.
Oh, yep, it's about my time. I just didn't realize how. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
You're good,
No,
but
it's,
go
it's
ahead.
cool
Go ahead.
if
We
it's
got,
your time, because I was just going to say what I was going to do next. But
what you gonna do? Go ahead.
I was just going to see if I could find someone who's still here.
Okay, you're gonna try to search for someone. Okay. And Stringer's watching. You're in the third. Marcellus, do you want to climb up onto the roof and roll your next stealth? We're just a couple actions away from. We're just a couple of actions of calling it from the night for this session.
Absolutely, because Marcellus is going to go full martial arts mode and try and take as many of these down silently as possible.
Gotcha. Alrighty. And there is, there's like HVAC units, stacks, stuff up here on the roof. There's actually a couple of makeshift shelters, or not tents, but actually, where somebody's taken pieces of not just cardboard, but wood or something and made a makeshift shelter out of it. So there's a bunch of stuff. The point is, there's a bunch of stuff to hide behind and move around and stuff.
Yeah, and to make sure of it, I'm putting 3 points of luck into it.
Okay. You're gonna do your stealth, and Stringer, you got that's a pretty good composition. Are you gonna immediately start doing some voice overlay, or are you just getting ready to? Voiceover, I mean.
Voiceover.
I'm sorry?
When I'm going to start doing the voiceover when people are climbing up the wall.
Okay.
And then I'm going to, I'll comment on the fact that they're trying to get into the smaller AV. So, is it a breakdown or has somebody stolen it?
So you weren't able to see either of them climbing up the walls. They were both concealed themselves well enough. However they did it, they weren't visible. One of them might have been, because one of them's on your side of the building, the other between Marcellus and Raj. I mean, one's on the other side of the building. But if you want to do an awareness at this point, you can do an awareness notice, see if you spark Marcellus coming over the edge. But we'll do that. I'm going to do a roll or two for the Arasaka people, and then we're going to call it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Marcellus, you do not see, excuse me, Stringer, you do not see Marcellus coming over the edge. Okay. Marcellus, there is no immediate reaction to you coming up onto the roof. You can only assume that nobody saw you come up over, because you kind of had to be visible there for a split second as you came up over the edge.
Sure.
Over the side. You find a space to crouch down, waiting for your opportunity to attack. And we got that. And we got our circuit guys all over the place. And one more roll. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Okay. This is about where we're gonna end. None of you are gonna miss this. Mirage, you're inside the building, so you won't see it, but you're gonna hear it. That first AV that landed explodes.
Yep.
Yeesh.
Yep. Oof. And Marcellus, you will feel it. You're crouching. Just as you're crouching down behind something to hide, so you don't have to worry about dodging the debris. But just as you're getting into that spot to hide, you just caught a glimpse of it starting to light up, and then you feel the explosion. You feel or hear the explosion. Feel the shockwave. All that stuff. Stringer, you will see the explosion. That AV explode. The troops the security personnel that were right around it go flying in all different directions. You see it, and just takes a few seconds later, you feel the concussion, the wave of the explosion hitting the building.
Yep.
Mirage, you hear that explosion above you. A bunch of the plaster and roof material, whatever the ceiling's made of, come crashing down on top of you inside the room. Actually, a hole opens up in one part of the room to above you. You can't, you haven't looked up there yet, but I mean, it's really, this building is not in that good a shape for this to happen. You hear it, the whole building just shudders and shakes. Mirage, you will also hear, as this room, but you hear plaster and stuff falling. In just a couple seconds after the explosion, you hear another loud crash and bang and noises from somewhere else on this floor. Like maybe a wall falling down or something.
Yeah.
Something like that. And that's where we are. That's where we're leaving it. So.
Yep.
That's where we're till next week. And I went over on how long I had available, but that's okay. But it means I got to run. So no IP this session because we're in the middle of it still. Let's see. Marcellus, if you do want to spend the IP you have, just throw it over in Discord. Let me know if you want to spend it, or if you want to wait till next week, that's fine too. Whatever.
I'll have a think about it over the week.
Okay. But otherwise, I will see everyone, or talk to everyone anyway, next week. And we'll see what happens with the rest of the fun with Arasaka.
Yep.
All right. All right, guys. I will see you then. Have a good week.
See you then.
Yep. See ya. Bye.
Bye.